Oh, it's massive, all right. Both sides 4-4, and it's the Giants up against the Tigers under the roof here at Marvel Stadium. Everybody happy to be here. And Barry Denner with you. Looking forward to getting stuck into this. Only about 5 minutes away. This man is with us, as always, on a Saturday night. 287, two-time All-Australian superstar, St. Joey Montagna.
Oh, thank you, Baz. Is everybody happy to be here? Because I heard during the week Richmond Footy Club would rather be at the MCG. But I tell you what, on a day like today, I'd much rather be under the roof at Marvel Stadium. We're going to have wonderful conditions. We're going to have a great game of footy, and I can't wait to call it with all you in here.
Good on you, Joey. And this man is going to look after us with a super special comments, as he always does. Of course, former Magpie Blue, he's a star. He got a premiership, and he was with the Sorrento Sharks today, Days. He promised, he stared down the Trolls during the week, said, get stuffed, I'm pulling the jumper on again.
I did. I backed it up, Baz, and boy, oh boy, I tell you what, I wish they had a roof down there at Dramana because it was bloody cold. I went the long sleeve underneath the short sleeve, so the double jumper, and, I can't say I single-handedly led the team to an famous 8-goal victory. 120 points they got rolled by a couple of weeks ago. Had all my mates down there. Wooler was down there. Robocop. They're all going berserk on the fence, throwing cans at people. It was brilliant.
The word is down the Mornington Peninsula. It was one of the greatest ever wins for the Sorrento Sharks reserves. It's right up there.
And one of the greatest individual performances, from what I've heard as well. This man down on the boundary line, he's a superstar, no doubt about it. No finer human on this earth. Continuing to give back to the community as he does every week, and a former legendary saint for Bob Jane T-Marts. Bob Jane T-Marts SUV 4x4 flash sale. It ends this weekend up to 20% off alloy and steel wheels. bobjane.com.au. G'day, Mickey Roberts.
G'day, Baz. Fair introduction, all that. But I tell you what, they don't want to be here, the Tigers. They want to be at the MCG. It's remarkable, really. But, they'll hit back. They've had another front page week. But they do it all the time, so they'll be okay. As we know, Bolton's out with a broken hand after that fight. Grimes comes in after concussion. There's two debutants playing tonight, Baz. One for Richmond, one for GWS. Hugo Ralph Smith, the son of Sean Ralph Smith, St Kilda Hawthorn fame, and Kieran Briggs, a ruckman, in for Mumford. So have a look at those two youngsters. The med subs, Jack Ross for Richmond, Tanner Bruin for GWS, and 200 games for Bashahuli for the Richmond Football Club. I know he played at Essendon, but 200 for him. And we're going to see two things, Baz. A win for Richmond and another mark contender for the mark of the year. See if they can actually get that over the line, the Tigers to win.
Good on you, Robbo. We look forward to having the voice of Triple M footy with us all night. Don't forget, for Ream Hot Water, ask your plumber to install the Ream. Steady, hot and strong. Ethan Meldrum, good evening to you on the Triple M stats, the Red Z landings.
Evening, Baz.
Great to have you here. You are a superstar in your own right. And just a couple of zingers for us to kick us off tonight.
Well, Richmond, they're missing most of their midfield. Of their top 5 clearance players last year, 4 are unavailable. The only one remaining, Dustin Martin. There's almost 200 games of experience between him and the second most experienced inside mid tonight. Last week, Richmond, they lost the marks inside 50 count by 14, which is their worst in 7 years, but positive for them. 6-0 against GWS and Victoria. They've won their last 3 as well, conceding off the back of conceding 120 points in a game, which they did last week. The Giants have won 4 of their last 5, and in that time, number 5 in the league for disposal differential, number 2 for points scored. Josh Kelly as well in that time, 29 disposals per game, 10 score involvements.
On your 8th days, what are you expecting to see out here tonight?
Well, I expect to see a response from the Tigs. Obviously, last week, 63-point drumming at the hands of the Cats. And Tom Lynch and Jack Rewalt, they need to stand up. They're the big power forwards. They weren't great last week. Jack Rewalt had 4 disposals. That's an equal career low. And Tom Lynch, 3 of the last 6 against the GWS Giants. He's gone goalless. So he's got a young star in Sam Taylor playing against him tonight. We'll keep a close eye on that one. And GWS, the last 2 weeks, they've found different avenues to goal. They've kicked over 100 points in each game. So I'm with Robbo. I think the Tigers will win, but I think it should be a ripping contest.
Both sides starting to move into position. Heath, what did we see this afternoon? There's been some interesting results.
North Melbourne winning their first game of the season. Their first game, I think, 16 or 17, defeating Hawthorn by 7 points. Sydney defeating Collingwood by 30, and Brisbane winning the Q Clash over the Gold Coast Suns by 73 points.
10,975 days since David Noble took the coaching job and finally got a win, and he sits alongside Matty Nix as the only 2 coaches to get their first win against Alistair Clarkson.
Gee, that's of course, that's a nice win to notch up, Joey, isn't it, against one of the great coaches, Alistair Clarkson?
Yeah, David Noble's birthday too today, 54 years of age he was, a Tassie boy as well, winning in Tasmania. So it was a great game, and looking forward to this one here at Marvel Stadium. Richmond missing a whole host of superstars. The Giants on a bit of a roll. 8th v 9th. And we've got big Matt Flynn in the ruck for the GWS Giants up against Nan Curvis for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy and we're underway. Taranto on hands and knees, got the first handball out to Jacob Hopper, only as far as that man, as Mickey Roberts told us, playing game 200 for the Tigers, Basher Hawley.
So the Tigers work it to the wing, and there's Dusty. Dusty Martin on the wing, delivers to half forward. Cumming put his hands up for the Giants, couldn't complete the mark. It hit the deck, they pile on top. And that is players from both sides. The umpire to ball it up about 55 around from Richmond's goal.
Young Sam Taylor, the superstar defender, underrated defender, Dale Thomas. He's got the job on Tom Lynch. Nan Curvis grabs it out of the ruck and kicks the ball inside 50. It'll go in that direction. Lynch and Taylor. Taylor overran the footy, got back on it, and then outworked Tom Lynch, got the footy back and works with Taranto, who hugs it along the boundary line towards the wing, and that's going to be another beauty of a matchup. Toby Green on Dylan Grimes.
Yeah, they've gone with Vlosten the last two times, round 8, 2020 and the 2019 grand final. Vlosten's had the job, starting with Grimes.
Triple M Seabus Super Special comments tonight. One of life's great people, Daisy Thomas, delivering consistent long-term returns for members. Seabus is for us all. The boundary throw in on the wing. Hopper runs away with it. The clearance with the Giants. He takes a bounce, sprints another 15. Hand passes in front of Bobby Hill. Taps it to himself. 45 out, open goal square. Kicks across the face and through from behind. The Giants going to the right of our broadcast position to the Coventry end in this first term. They're one behind. Tigers yet to score. Just a minute and a half into it, Joey. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Just keep an eye on those clearance numbers for us, Ethan. I reckon that's where the Giants, if they can win this tonight, it'll be from the clearances. Strong clearance team. We know they score from stoppage. And Richmond, as we know, missing a lot of midfielders. So from the kick in, they work it along the boundary line with a chain of handballs, although they put themselves under some sort of pressure here, the Tigers. Vlosten's handball went for Asprey, missed him. And Giants' forward pressure was good. We'll see it out of bounds, 60 around from the Giants' goal.
Yeah, Red Z lending stats. Tim Taranto leading the way to all of GWS's clearances so far. Richmond just the one.
So the ball will be thrown back in, 60 around. Flynn got it down to Callum Ward, starting on ball with strength. Got the hands free, but it trickles out of bounds again in front of that man, Tim Taranto.
Form lines, it's been the Giants. If you stack them up against these last couple of weeks, hasn't it, Dave?
It has been. Obviously, the Tigs last week were very, very poor after quarter time. 13 unanswered goals after half time, so they certainly need to respond. It's been a bit of a rusty start too by them tonight.
Well, the Ruckman just wrestled themselves away from the footy from the boundary throw-in, and Ash grabbed it. He was tackled, dragged to the ground. The umpire will ball it up. Still virtually, well, it's halfway between wing and half forward for the Giants. In front of us here in the Triple M broadcast box. Hand pass out of the pack again. Clearance to the Giants. Ash, hand pass Whitfield. He was tackled, lost it. But again, bottom of the pack, it's Hopper this time. He's kicked, though, as he was slung, running back with a fly to the footy. McIntosh for the Tigers. And he marks right on defensive 50.
Well, he goes into the corridor for Collier Dawkins, who wasn't looking. He had his back turned, and the Giants will win the footy back. Hopper, the handball missed the mark, looking for Toby Green. Centre half forward, good pressure, Bobby Hill. Falls to Toby Green, 45 around the corner. Dribbles it along the ground, will it get there? Just bounces to the left. So the Giants doing all the early attacking. They're two behinds. Richmond yet to score 3.5 minutes into this first term.
So short out from full back. And a little 15-metre ball to Vlosten. And a long kick, 45 metres to the wing. Rewalt sandwich in between two. Giants won't mark. Full of the ball, Kelly. They get another clearance. Hand pass to Cumming. Rush kick inside forward 50. Punch to ground level. Big Jesse Hogan goes at it. Kicks across half forward. He got a loose player in Whitfield. He marks about 65 out. Flynn screaming for it. Just inside forward 50. Hangs onto the footy and just walks back to the centre of the ground. Waited for the set-up, and it's okay. Callan Ward made position about 48 metres out, slight angle, and kept the eyes low, and he hit him up nicely.
He was standing there for a fair while too. Baz had the arms going, doing the star jumps there, and no Richmond defender, Basher Hawley, choosing to take the lead.
Callan Ward just wanders back with the footy. The Giants already have two behinds on the board. Early stages of the match. Ward to forward 50, gives it everything he's got, and it's a beautiful drop punt. Lands about 2 rows back. The goal umpire signals, and the Giants 1-2-8 lead the Tigers yet to score. 4.5 into the first term. Triple M IJ Liquor score, but IJ Liquor proudly local, proudly independent.
Yeah, it came off the back of a kick going through the corridor. We spoke about it a minute ago. Camden McIntosh tried to plug one through there. The player he went to wasn't paying attention, forgot to look where the ball was. But I like that, Baz, from a Tigers point of view. They're going to have to try and take something on, get through these GWN's defence, because last week against the Cats, they got torched because all they did for the entire night was live long down the line. And once you do that at AFL level, teams are so well set up to not only intercept that, but then counter-attack out through the open side.
The worry is for Richmond, they might be playing a fair bit of their game from the back half, Daisy. The stoppages for Richmond, the midfield was Riley Collier-Dawkins, Ralph Smith playing his first game, Jack Graham in there as well. So it's a young midfield taking on an experienced midfield of the GWS Giants. And they lead this one by 8. McDonald's and Ream, hot water. Triple M Rocks footy, back in the middle. Ward, strong tackle there by Collier-Dawkins. The young man starting in the centre bounce, got the responsibility tonight without a few of their stars. He wins this clearance, although the handball was dispossessed. Martin, who starts in the centre bounce, he'll then drift forward. The Giants have got plenty of numbers. Perryman out to Whitfield, sweeps a handball wide. Opportunity here for the Giants again through Perryman. Wide to Hogan. 55 out. It was Riccardi, in fact, who kicked it to Jesse Hogan. Richmond have got plenty of numbers back deep again. So again, the GWS Giants lower the eyes. Richmond was sagging off, looking for the deep ball, and it's with Tim Taranto, who'll go back from 45 out on a tough angle.
Grimes it was this time. We have a look at it here on the Harvey Norman replay. Again, choosing to take the leading lane. It was a diagonal lead from the Giants player into the space and an absolute bullet pass.
Tim Taranto had a wonderful month of football. He'd be 50-50 at best from here. It's not going to get the journey. It's going to go to the top of the square. Nankervis is there. Where are the crummers for GWS? Whitfield lurking. So's Harry Himmelberg. Voston head over the footy. Shoveled out the handball to Bashahuli, who quick kicks it only as far as Perryman, who takes the mark 50 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Can kick a big ball too, Harry Perryman, Joey.
Yeah, I agree, Daisy. Under the roof here early in the game. He might have it in his legs. We saw Callum Ward just strike one from not too dissimilar a position. Harry Perryman, another underrated player for the GWS Giants. Will kick it from 52 metres. It'll get right to the goal line. It won't have the journey. The big Briggs flies. Couldn't take the mark. Richmond under pressure. Top of the square. Lloyd tackled. And we'll have a ball up 20 around from the GWS Giants goal there. 8. Richmond yet to score. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. 7.5 minutes gone first term.
And the game at the moment is being played in the Giants forward half. The ball thrown in the air. Big Briggs is in there for the Giants. Massive pack. Grimes at the bottom of it. Got a rush kick outside of the pack. And Kelly, who floated back with a flight of the foot, he's been paid the mark about 30 metres out in a 45-degree angle. They're just swarming all over them at the moment, Dave.
They certainly are. 84% of this game, Baz, has been played in the GWS Giants forward half of the ground. So not only are they getting it in there, but when they are, they're setting up well behind the footy, getting themselves some good looks on repeat entries. So
Josh Kelly will walk in on that 45-degree angle and drop it onto his boot, 40 out, left foot drop punt, half post high, and it's just across the face and through for a point. 1-3-9 the Giants, yet to score the Tigers. 8 minutes first term, IJ Liquor scoreboard.
We saw this last night with St Kilda. When you're dominating field position, dominating the game, you don't want to kick too many behinds and give a good opposition a sniff. That's what the Giants are doing early here. Marlon Pickett from the kick-in, couldn't take the mark. Giants win the ball back again, although the Hogan handball, turnover. Now the Richmond handball game's going. Graham kicked it out to Dusty in a one-on-one, but it was a free kick after the kick. It was a late bump. So it'll be Dustin Martin who'll take the free kick. Right on centre wing, outer side Marvel Stadium. And he's going to run, take a bounce, and kick it as far as he can. He's going to go in the Bolter direction, who's drifted forward, couldn't take the mark. Giants have got numbers at the back. Buntine, back into the side tonight, kick around the corner. Only as far as Dusty. Forward handball, Castagna. Shot towards goal. Nankervis is there, so's Taylor, who's at ground level. Nankervis does his own crumb, throws it across the boot. Just goes out of bounds across the face. It'll be thrown in right next to the left-hand point post. Richmond, is this their first inside 50 or second? Ethan finally got the ball deep in their forward line.
Their second, Baz.
Triple M Red Z lending stats there with Ethan Meldrum. Boundary throw in early stages of the match. Good signs for the Giants. Nankervis, 20 around from Richmond's goal. Taranto had it, but he's punched it into the fat side. Rioli to footy. Asher's right with him. Rioli did well, kept it in front of him. Hand pass to young Ralph Smith. Kicked across his body, bounces into the forward pocket to Rewalt. Threw and hand at the footy. And off his fingertips it goes out of bounds. Deep right forward pocket for the Tigers.
Looks like Leon Cameron's thrown Connor Iden the job on the superstar Dusty Martin when he goes forward.
So Nankervis and Briggs, Jack Rewalt trying to barge through the stoppage. Buckley got him, wrapped him up in a strong tackle. So it's GWS 139. Richmond yet to score, under a bit of pump early, the Tigers, but they've got a chance here. Throw up, 25 around from their goal. Both ruckmen tangled. How's the umpire going to see it?
Hello.
He's going to pay it the way of the big nank. Richmond fans are happy. We'll take a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Looked like both rucks had each other in a headlock.
It's always interesting, these ones, isn't it? Even the rucks turn on the Harvey Norman replay and have a look. Oh, that is 6 of one, half a dozen the other for mine.
Yep.
So Toby Nankervis, just the 28 goals in his 90 AFL games. Makes no mistake. And Richmond have got there first. They're 1 straight 6. GWS 139. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
Red Z leading stats. Richmond has swung the clearances around the last few minutes. They've won the last 5 of the game, leads 6-2 in that category. Ground ball gets as well. The Giants were leading 10-1. It's now 11-8 in favour of the Giants as well. So they're starting to swing it back, Days.
They certainly are, and they needed to as well, because as we said, 84% of the game was played in the GWS forward half. And they just looked a little bit stagnant with their ball movement. Obviously, they've got a lot of stars out of the side on all areas of the ground. Dusty Martin, he's going to have a huge game. You see him throwing himself into the middle of the ground, trying to take that responsibility alongside a couple of younger players, but then also going forward as well. So he's going to have a big night around the footy and hopefully hitting the scoreboard for Tigers fans.
Bob Jane T-Marts, Miggy.
Yeah, Tom Lynch was taken off the ground, surprisingly. That big bomb in by Dusty Martin, there was no one there. And he stood up here and asked, why am I off? He wants to get back on, Lynch.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. This time Richmond through Pickett, get the ball out of the centre to half forward to Arts. Drop the mark. Graham goes in for the Tigers. Little hand pass to Baker. Short ball inside towards Rioli. Punched out of his hands. Straight to Pickett. Tried to barge through 3 or 4 defenders. Lost it in the handle. Iden picks it up. Little hand pass to the Giants to Lloyd. Rush kick goes back to Baker, who marks on the wing for the Tigers.
He wanted to go quick, and he's been forced to go slow. So he's going to have to kick a long high ball inside 50. Jack Rewalt's there, but there are 4 GWS Giants players. The spoiler, and then off the ground, Jake Arts. Something out of nothing for Richmond. They just sent a long high ball in, and the crummer was in the right spot, and the Tigers hit the lead. They're 2 straight 12. GWS 139, 12 and a half minutes gone. Nice goal, Jake Arts.
It certainly was. Beautiful crumbing position. Nankervis looked like he had his name all over it as well. He must be going forward now that Lynch is off the ground as well. So a little bit of a tactical move from the Richmond coaches box. But both of their goals made out of nothing. A free kick from one, that one over the back. And we see at the other end, GWS 1-3, probably all 4 of them were more traditional and all gettable.
Yeah, just looking at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, he was perfectly front and square. Jake Arts read it the best, kicked it off the ground, get the new Phillips Prestige Series 9000 wet and dry electric shaver now at Harvey Norman.
Oh, I went in there last night, Joey. Not only did I get one of them, I got myself a fridge, microwave, dryer, washing machine. Got looked after as well. Good people at Harvey Norman.
Absolutely. And high-fived them all on the way out. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. So the Tigers have found their footing here at Marvel Stadium. They lead by 3 points. Clearance this time, though. Whitfield. Hand pass to Cumming in the centre of the ground. Another one to Perryman. He kicks it out to the outer side wing. And the mark. Sorry, Joey. I did say Perryman. And can't stop saying it. I've said it for some time. Long kick inside for the Giants towards half forward. Up goes the big man in Flynn. And he marks 55 out from goal. Hand pass called to play on. Gives it over towards Green. Green high kick back to full forward. O'Halloran in front. Can't mark. Spills towards Hopper and Himmelberg. Hand pass the back of the pack to Kelly. Little snap from 15 out. Turns around, puts it through for the Giants. Quick answer from the GWS. 2-3-15 they are. 2 straight goals. 12 of Richmond. 14.5 first term. And that's all on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Really nice finish there. Deep in the pocket. Wrong side for a left footer. Jagged it back across his shoulder. All class is Josh Kelly. Starting on the wing as well, we noticed that he had the match-up on McIntosh, so McIntosh is giving him a little bit of rope. We know the Richmond wingers like to keep their width, but if he is going to push in, he's had a couple of shots at goal now. McIntosh and the other Richmond wingers may have to go closer to him and in with him if he's going to get to dangerous spots.
Yeah, Red Z lending stats, Josh Kelly, GWS's #1 ranked player on the ground, 4 disposals, but 3 of them score involvement so far.
Nice start, Red Z lending, loans for the self-employed. Ethan Meldrum, that was, not Josh Kelly. Talking about.
Spot on. Well, both are good. Very good.
And Josh Kelly's goal, he goes to the bench. He's on the headset to the coaching staff, and they lead again by 3 points. Nice start to this game. So we're back in the middle to McDonald's and Ream, hot water, Triple M Rocks footy. On his hands and knees again, as always, Jacob Hopper. And the ball going nowhere, so it'll be thrown up right in the little circle. Almost halfway through this first term. Nice crowd building. Saturday night footy, Triple M footy. Lockie Ash off the back of the square, just throws it on the boot. Toby Green, what a pick-up at his ankles. Gave the handball to Hopper, under pressure. So wobbles one towards half-forward Mansell, Asprey, Grimes. They all work together. And Asprey's kick goes towards Liam Baker, who's playing a bit more midfield tonight. He had a little fumble. Riccardi over to Bobby Hill. He's got a bit of time and space. Can he find a mark inside 50? Taranto's got out the back. Loston did well to leave his man. And then Toby Green kicked out of midair from the boundary line. It almost went through, but the boundary umpire said it had gone out of bounds first.
Millimetre.
That'll be thrown in 15 around from the Giants' goal.
3 points up the Giants. 16 first term, as the great Lee Montagna said. Good game of footy to start us off. Boundary throw in. Flynn, little tap down the ground level was good. Hand pass comes out to Big Green, and that was Tommy Green. And he kicks the goal for the Giants from the forward pocket deep, cross the body. So a couple of nice goals, good bits of work. One from Kelly, then from Tom Green. 3-3-21 to 2 straight goals, 12. The Giants lead 16.5 first term. IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Beautiful piece of ruck work there by Big Matty Flynn. 104 kilos. He's a big lump of a lad. Worked his way to the front on Noah Boulder, it was. On the Harvey Norman replay, we see that. And Tim Taranto coming at it, almost a set play, and just dished it beautifully to the outside. That's as crisp a forward 50 craft and a stoppage as you'll ever see, Ethan Meldrum.
Yeah, Reds Head Lending stats. Tim Taranto with 4 of GWS's 5 clearances, and Matt Flynn as well, 7 hitouts, but 4 of them to advantage so far.
Yeah, wonderful start by the Giants. Tim Taranto in particular, as you said, Ethan. And they've skipped out now to a 9-point lead after the Tigers kicked 2 in a row. They've answered with 2 of their own from tight angles. And we've got a nice game of footy here. Triple M, Rocks footy. Ream and McDonald's. Tom Green in there again. Strong tackle. Might have been high on Collier Dawkins. Vocal Tigers crowd. And they've just seen the replay. And they go again.
Filthy.
Nankervis grabs it out of the ruck, throws it on the boot towards half forward. There is Daniel Rioli, still with his black eye. Couldn't win it. Iden looks for Jesse Hogan on a long lead, takes a nice mark. Caught one for his troubles.
Play on.
He just pops it up to the big man Flynn, who's got plenty of time and space. And they're able to work it to half forward here, GWS. Toby Green offers a lead, he ignores that and goes longer. Himmelberg, but Nankervis drops back. Like an old school ruckman, he gets in the hole and takes the intercept mark.
Broad and Vloston combined by hand. Kick outside defensive 50 is good for the Tigers. Castagna running with the flight of the footy, marks on the boundary line. So he's out of sight of the ground. Richmond to the famous Lockett end here at Marvel Stadium in the first term. The left of our broadcast position. Long ball to the wing out of sight of the ground. Coming with a fist on it for the Giants. Spills to the side. Graham onto it for the Tigers. Ran onto the bouncing ball. Kicks to Ralph Smith at half forward. Bunt time with him. Claims it on the bounce and he's wrapped up in a tackle and he's pinged free to Richmond. Oh, they swarmed all over him and Rioli's the recipient. He sort of walks away limping.
Time back on.
Still limping, he's got the footy. He'll chip it short and backwards to Vloston, who marks just forward of the wing out of sight of the ground.
Play on.
So the Tigers trail by 9 points. Kicks into the centre and he's right in the centre of Marvel Stadium and Asprey has taken the mark.
He's got all 36 players on the field ahead of him, though. Or 35, if you don't include him. So he's just forced to kick it to a massive pack. Jack Rewalt flew. Tom Lynch stayed down. He stayed at the back of the pack. An open goal on his left boot. And he shanked it badly.
Ooh.
A golden opportunity there for Tom Lynch. And it went out of bounds on the full.
Ball delivered in. Long. Oh, Himmelberg. Big leap. Didn't complete the mark, though. Close to the boundary line. Punch back into play. Richmond a chance here. Running around as Graham. He's got it 70 from home. Kept the eyes low. Looked for the lead at half forward. Castagna, who led up beautifully. He hit him up beautifully as well. About 50 out slide angle. So he looks to give off. Looking right now. Eventually starts to Wanda back with a footy. So the Tigers before the kick trail by 9 points. And we've just ticked up to the 20-minute mark of the first term. Castagna wanders in with purpose. Called the play on, runs around, gives it everything he's got. Distance not a problem. In fact it is, it lands short. And the mark has been taken by Lynch, who floated in the middle of a pack. And he took it just inside the boundary line. So he'll be about 15 out when he drops it onto his boot.
Just needs to think his way through this. Going to run around to the right, snap it across the body, but get as close to the man on the mark as you can. Open up the angle, think your way through it, kick the goal.
Big Tommy does exactly what Dale Thomas said and kicks the goal. 3 straight goals, Richmond, that's 18. 3-3-21 the Giants, 21 minutes first term. Triple MIJ Liga scoreboard.
Yeah, it was a nice block by the umpire there on Sam Taylor, but he did get caught ball watching as Big Tom Lynch got a clean run and jump at the kick from Castagna that landed short. As I said in the pre-game there, 3 of the last 6 games against the Giants, he's gone goalless. So a good confidence booster for him because he had the one at the top of the square only moments ago on the left peg, and he must have a mate sitting in the forward pocket in row 55 ZZ because he hit him up lace out. So good start for Tommy Lynch, good response from last week.
Red Z lending stats, Richmond's pressure is lifted. Last week, pressure factor of 162. AFL average is 179. Tonight, it's sitting at 193.
And Ethan, for Choice Hotels around the grounds, the other game tonight, please.
Port Adelaide Western Bulldogs, about 5 minutes into that game, it's Port Adelaide by 6 points.
It's a 3-point lead to the GWS Giants. Good game of footy. Maccas and footy, I'm loving it. And we're loving this game too, as the Giants will try and win another centre clearance, although the hopper handball missed the mark. Strong tackle though by Perryman. Liam Baker wins the footy. Had a little fumble, then had a second fumble. So he's forced to go wide and handball to Naish, who goes inside 50. Lynch again, flew from the back. Couldn't take the mark, but he brought down the pack with him. A couple of sore boys at the bottom of that. Loose ball inside 50. And the Giants happy to see that one out of bounds. That's what you like to see from Tom Lynch, Daisy. He's not going to mark it. Bring down the pack.
He took about 3 of them down there. I'm not sure who the Giants player was, but he sat there like a sitting duck underneath that one. Well done to him. Great courage.
Boundary throw in. Richmond press. Lynch in the ruck. Taps to the back of the pack. Hopper there for the Giants. Was tackled, lost the footy. Kelly tracks it to the boundary line. Little hand pass to Ward. His kick smothered out of bounds by Naish. So Richmond have lifted a cog here. And a couple of his teammates just acknowledged the 1%er. And it's now about 35 metres around from the Richmond goal. They trail by 3 points, 22.5 first term.
Lynch will take the ruck against Briggs. Dusty's lurking, but Callum Ward won that clearance. Throws it on the boot, but it came off the side and it'll go out of bounds on the full. About 65 metres around from the Richmond goal. With the young Ryan Mansell. He's been pretty good in his 5 AFL games. He's going to go short and inboard on the 45 to Basher Hawley. Man on the mark. He's about 60 metres out. So Bash is going to kick it to the top of the square. In the Lynch direction again. At the back, second bite. Jack Reward almost knocked it out of his hands. Picked up the crumb. Handball backwards to Naish. Another high ball, top of the square. Nankervis nuts under the footy. Wanted the free kick. So did the crowd. None doing. And instead it'll be a free kick to the GWS Giants. And it's going to go the way of Perryman.
Perryman goes deep into the back pocket. What do you reckon, Days? Harvey Norman replay?
Yeah, big Briggs it was, Baz, and I reckon he went straight into the back of Big Nank, who folded him up, but umpire maybe just letting him off the hook from the one that he gave to him before in that forward 50 stoppage.
Long kick to the wing, off hands to Kelly. Hugs the boundary line by 40 metres with the kick. Look at the umpire. He came sprinting in. He was very excited because he was going to play out of bounds deliberately, he did. So Asprey will bring it back in for the Tigers. Goes 15 metres inboard to short. Kicks back to Basher Hawley at defensive 50 in his 200th game for the Tigers tonight, as we heard from Mickey Roberts at the start of our broadcast. Broad kicks across the ground. The Tigers will work it now to the wing, and the mark will be taken by Aish right in front of Joey Montagna.
Short continued to run, although he was forced to go on his opposite foot. It was not a bad kick inside 50. Arts was lurking, but GWS were able to get numbers back. Kelly short ball. Whitfield working along the boundary line. And unfortunately it ricocheted off young Chris Naish. GWS? Or Patrick Naish, sorry. His old man Chris. Played 100 odd games for the club. Patrick Naish now making a name for himself. And the Whitfield kick comes inboard. It was a good one too. Found Briggs, who gave to the runner incoming. Goes down the line looking for Himmelberg. Good spoil from Broad. Callum Ward, though, burst through. Gave the handball to Josh Kelly, right in front of interchange gates. He sits and waits, gives it back to Whitfield. He just tried to caress the ball to half forward. But again, chopping it off for the second time was Nankervis getting back, filling the hole.
Big Toby kicked a goal in his first term. Goes onto the left boot. Kicks it back to the wing. Rewalt! Big fly. Pulls the mark down. Gets up. Plays on. But his kick smothered by Buntine. Spills to Baker for the Tigers. Hand pass Dusty Martin. Gives the don't argue to Cumming. Bounces into the centre. Richmond on the charge. Kicks across to McIntosh. And he marks forward to the wing out of sight. Graham wants it short. There's whistles going everywhere.
Against Tom Lynch it is, guys.
What, just spot, Dave?
Yeah, he just tried to get into his move off the ball. And the umpire caught him slinging the GWS opponent as he was trying to get some space to lead.
So the Giants want to move the ball quickly through the corridor, but the kick's being chopped off by Liam Baker. He started this game well. We'll get some numbers off Ethan Meldrum in a minute for Red Z Lending as McIntosh goes short and wide to Nick Vlosten. And they'll be patient here, Richmond. Jack Graham now. Point of the square. Again, they're just happy to drive it in deep, but the Giants know where it's going. They've got plenty of numbers back there in the orange. And the mark taken by Kieran Briggs. Some of the big ball winners, Ethan?
Josh Kelly leading all comers with 8 touches. Short and Vlosten with 7 apiece. Liam Baker 6 as well, Joey. Only player yet to miss a centre bounce.
Triple M Red Z Lending stats there with Ethan Meldrum. Whitfield's got it in the back pocket. Ball's gone nowhere. Squares it up to Hopper. And now a hand pass to Cumming. Long kick and Toby Green's taken a screamer. He's 70 out. It's an open goal square. Runs 15, keeps it low, but it bounces across the face and out of bounds. And he gets a little bit of advice from the Tigers cheer squad behind the goal. Just about how the ball dropped up.
I think they were cheering for a hopeful deliberate out of bounds. I think it was Cam Zurhar last week had a shot and shanked it into about 45 metres out and got pinged somehow.
Deliberate missing of the goal.
The ball thrown back into play. They've been good in this situation so far, the Giants. McIntosh just punched it back 15 metres, where straight to Whitfield, who's waiting. Toby Green's going to have another crack at it. This time it's a much better effort, and the skipper delivers from 50 on the boundary. Well, not quite on the boundary. He was on the 45. It was a nice finish anyway. He had an attempt moments ago, and the GWS Giants get their fourth. They go to 4-3-27. Richmond 3 straight 18. Nice first turn by the Giants.
Yeah, it has been terrific by them, and another forward 50 stoppage that they've just managed to orchestrate something around that, a handball backwards, and then finding Toby Green, and he absolutely loved that. Got straight back to Lockie Whitfield, who fed him the ball, but the alarm bells will be going off in the Richmond coaches box for those defensive 50 stoppages. Coaches absolutely hate being scored in that area. Used to call it red zone, danger zone, all these sorts of names they come up with them, but the urgency from the Tigers at the minute just isn't there.
Triple M C-Bus super special comments. If you embrace life, you'll be listening to Dale Thomas. He certainly does. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy as we close in on the end of the first term here. Just under 2.5 minutes of game time left. Bounces good. We're underway. Graham, bottom of the pack for the Tigers. Hand pass Martin. Gives the don't argue. Runs away. He's in space. The delivery missed the target. He's looking for Arts. And dropping back in front, the Giants will chip it out to Iden. So Iden goes to Buntine at half-back on defensive 50s on the boundary line broadcast side.
Is that Bolter standing the mark there, Baz?
It is.
He's gone forward for a little bit as well, so another change that the Tigs have made.
Buntine goes long down the line. Callum Ward front and square. Gave the handball off to Jesse Hogan, who has time to feed it back to Taranto. Been very good in this first quarter, although that's where you don't want to kick the ball. It's towards half-back of where Richmond just queue up, and they were queuing up in this time. Grimes, Hawley, and now Broad, and they'll switch the play and they'll go wide. McIntosh, that's usually his go out in that wing, although he fell over. And a chance here for the Giants on the turnover. They work it together out wide. Oh, great pick up, Lockie Ash. Although the handball coughed it up. Collier Dawkins, although another handball turnover. Giants pressure good, coming. Back wide to Riccardi, who drills the ball to Bobby Hill. Toby Green's lurking it as well, about 50 out on the boundary line. Will it stay in play? It will. And then Toby Green will try and get a free kick, but the umpire will ball it up. Right on the junction of the 50-metre line and the boundary line. GWS half forward, minute 13 left on the clock. They lead this one by 9 points.
Ball thrown up. Briggs and Nankervis slap to the side. Mansell sort of sat on the footy. He's got to get it out. The umpire gives him a bit of time, then crosses the arms. So 50 metres away from the Giants' goal. They have the lead by 9 points. We've got just over a minute left on the clock. An opportunity presents. Massive numbers around the footy here. Tap to the side for the Giants, but McIntosh onto it. Pushed on his kick, only went about 10 metres. Taranto there to clean up for the Giants. Hand pass to Ward. Hand pass to Perryman, put him right under the pump. He's met by Arts, who spins around, holds the footy to the deck, and the umpire to ball it up again. So the Tigers have worked at about 15 metres away from that Giants forward 50 on the outer side of the ground.
Then Curvis was playing as the spare man in defence. He had to work up to the ruck and did it nicely. Grabbed it out of the ruck. Short kick to Castagna. He wants to get it moving. Bolter, as Dale Thomas said, has gone forward with Jack Reward on the bench. Although another turnover. Giants working well across half-back. Plenty of numbers there. Perryman to Taylor. High ball. Nankervis stayed back in the defensive half. Took another intercept mark. Working beautifully back there. Gave it to Hooley. And they'll switch the play again through Broad and now Asprey.
So Asprey at half-back. Remaining of the first term. Giants will win it. 9 points is their lead. So Naish. Long kick to the wing. Lynch with a mark. In front, won't. Pickett at the full. Siren goes. Quarter time at Marvel Stadium. Choice hotels around the grounds. Heath, what's happening in Adelaide?
15 minutes into the first term, it's the Dogs by 1 point over Port Adelaide.
4-3-27 the Giants. 3 straight goals. The Tigers, you're with Dale Thomas, Lee Montagna, Miggy Roberts, Baz and Ethan Meldrum. And for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Macca's and footy. I'm loving it.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M Sunday Rub is always dressed to impress.
Do you reckon Howie's wearing a men's size t-shirt?
It's a small boys unit.
Because it's nice to make a good impression.
Small talk in the media back room here.
I'm a positive. You want to make people feel good, so even if you don't know who they are, they clearly know who I am.
Join the Tempur Mattress call team tomorrow from 1 for the D's and Blues. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Victoria, it's up to all of us to keep checking in when we're out. Checking in is the best way to stop the spread of coronavirus and act fast to protect our businesses, communities, and each other. So let's all keep it up, because checking in keeps us safe and open. For more information, visit coronavirus.vic.gov.au. Stay safe, stay open. Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
Mate, welcome to KO. Sport lives here. You're going to love it. Just a heads up though, with the biggest stars from over 50 sports living in one place, parking out the front can get a bit hairy. Yesterday, Scott Pendlebury had to reverse parallel between Cam Waters' supercar and Ben Simmons' new Ferrari. He was bricking it. KO. Sport lives here. Stream over 50 sports live and on demand. New to KO, start your 14-day free trial.
Do you want to be part of a winning team? With a 36-hour week, RDOs, unfair dismissal protection and world's best safety record. Hi, I'm John Setka, and they're just some of the things the CFMEU has fought hard for and won. Empower yourself and join us, one of the fastest growing and most prominent unions in Victoria. With a strong history of fighting to win, your union won't stop fighting to secure your future.
Find out more at vic.cfmeu.org and don't get left behind.
Open your ears to Front and Centre, exclusive to Listener.
We're trying to make something that was like the greatest moment in our career.
You've heard their music, now hear their stories as we put the spotlight on music's biggest names.
It's not like, oh, maybe this is maybe the single. It's like, no, this is the first statement.
Listener, radio, podcasts, music, news. Download the new app and listen for free.
Listener. She battle service.
Change gear in your career with Sheen Panel Service. With 26 panel shops, we're growing fast and are looking for the best people to join our team. If you're a panel beater or spray painter and are looking for a change, Sheen Panel Service wants to hear from you now. With great working conditions and a career path to becoming your own boss, we provide more than just a great weekly wage. We'll pay the best money for the best people. Head to our careers page at sheengroup.com.au.
Before digging your next hole, always visit Dial Before You Dig online. Then you'll know you won't be digging into a data cable or sewerage pipe, or worse, a high-pressure gas main or high-voltage electricity cable, like James did.
We are gathered here today to celebrate the life of James Smitty Smith, taken from us too soon.
Be safe every time. Search Dial Before You Dig online every time. And avoid digging your own grave.
Triple M rocks footy. This quarter for Choice Hotels. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com.
Quarter time at Marvel Stadium, 4-3-27. The Giants lead Richmond. 3 straight goals, 18 by 9 points. Stacey Thomas, Joey Montagna, Ethan Meldrum's here. Let's go down to Mickey Roberts for Bob Jane T-Marts. Bob Jane T-Marts, of course, SUV and 4x4 flash sale ends this weekend. Up to 20% off alloy and steel wheels. BobJane.com.au. Mickey, young Arts, he had a bit of work done. He got a heavy knock.
He did, and they looked at a video, so they've checked that out. That was okay, but he stayed down on the ground for a little while. And during this half the huddle, the doctor's been with him, left ankle, in the front of the ankle. So they've been looking at him. He's limping around still. He'll survive, Baz, but let's see how he goes in this second term.
Good news that he'll survive, Baz. We like that, but look, a really good start from the GWS Giants. Their ball movement, their ability to get Richmond out the back. And then once they got it in their forward 50, that first half of that quarter was played predominantly in their forward 50, their forward half. They got the field position, they locked it in. They got some really good looks from forward 50 stoppages as well. Misses to Hill and Kelly that were certainly gettable. And up the other end, the Tigs, well, 2 of their 3 goals were pretty lucky. Arts kicked a ripper off the ground, and then Curvis got a dubious ruck decision. So it's a pretty good game of footy so far. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. Richmond probably need to lift a little bit, but the Giants certainly brought the heat early.
Yeah, what about the Red Zeds? What do they tell you, Ethan, about this 9-point lead the Giants have?
Yeah, Red Z lending stats. The Giants are getting it done at ground level, as you said. 8 more ground ball gets, leading 30-22. Kicked 2 goals from forward 50 stoppages in that term. Richmond conceded 6 there for the entire season. The Tigers, they're kicking at 63%. The GWS is 55. 8 more uncontested marks. They're playing on from 41% of those, so they're going a little bit faster. Leading ball winners, Tim Taranto, 11 disposals. Perryman and Ward with 9 apiece. For Richmond, Toby Nankervis, leading ball winner, 8 disposals, 6 contested possessions. He's the number 1 ranked player on the ground.
Choice Hotels around the grounds. Heath, what's happening in Adelaide between Port Adelaide and the Western Bulldogs?
20 minutes into the first term, it's the Bulldogs leading by 14 points over Port Adelaide. Cody Waitman about to line up for the Dogs to kick another.
Both sides moving into position here, and Lee Montagna dominated this ground for many, many years. At the moment, the Giants lead, Joey, by 9 points over the Tigers.
Yeah, real nice game of footy developing here, Baz. Saturday night footy. And we're about to get the second quarter underway. Dusty in the centre bounce for the Tigers, Collier Dawkins and Liam Baker. For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M rocks footy. There is Liam Baker, went without the footy. Hopper, quick little kick only as far as Collier Dawkins. Couldn't get the hand free. Strong tackle, well done, Josh Kelly. Got the holding the ball. And the Giants will take the advantage. Ward to Hopper, who went wide for Hogan. Missed the mark, brought off the ground. And then Hogan follow-up tackle was good. Hopper, another ground ball. We're going to keep an eye on those ground ball numbers, Ethan, because I reckon the teams that really trouble Richmond are the sides that get a hold of them through the middle of the ground. Contested ball, ground ball. It's an area where you can dominate against Richmond, and if you can get field position, you can score on them.
Footy spins in on the outer side wing. Briggs and Nankervis tap down to Tommy Green for the Giants, but he's tackled and lost it. Baker swooped on it for Richmond. Little hand pass to Graham. It'll come over the top to Mansell. He's got space in the centre. There's Dusty. He gives him the footy by hand. Martin's kick inside's a beauty. And the mark's been taken by Rioli directly in front, about 46 metres out.
A really good play, the superstar that is Dusty Martin. Everyone was heading back towards goal. The players have got really short on the play. heading back, but Rioli and Rewalt at the same time, ability to engage their opponent, push them in the chest, hit back up into a big pocket of space. Dusty kicked it before they moved. Such is the chemistry he has with those forwards.
Triple M Seabus super special comments. The great Dale Thomas as Rioli settles with a footy. He'll go to the Coventry end. Second term, seconds into it. Rioli low drop punt. It's going to land short. Punch back into play. Still not over the line, and eventually Cumming got a fist on it and thumped it through for a rush point to the Tigers. That's their first. They're 3-1-19, 4-3-27 the Giants.
Richmond kicking to the right of the broadcast. The Coventry end. It'll be Isaac Cumming. He'll do the kick in as he's done all year, and it's a beauty. Finds Perryman out of sight Marvel, and he wants to go quick, and they've got numbers queuing up through the middle here, the Giants. Flynn put Tom Green under pressure, but he's so good with his hands. He was able to get them free to Whitfield, who found Hopper. They're now forward to the centre. Can he find a mark inside 50? Oh, he can. That's good movement. Jesse Hogan was all on his own. The transition was beautiful. And Jesse Hogan will go back and have a shot from 45 out of a slight angle.
Getting some really good looks out the back, getting Richmond defenders all at sea through changing the angle as they're coming off half-back. Just a little 15-metre kick off the line, and then they brings in the players streaming through the corridor. The Richmond defenders, I'm not sure how they're going down there at the minute. The Giants forwards have a lot of space.
Kicked 4 goals in his first game as a Giant. Missed last week with a calf. Can he sneak one home on this occasion? He can. He's got it. And the Giants get the first blow of this second term. They are 5-3-33. Richmond 3-1-19. That's on the Triple M Choice Hotels scoreboard. If you need a break, book, direct and save with Choice Hotels, choicehotels.com.
Really enjoying the way the Giants are trying to take the game on through the corridor. Obviously, it opens up the back of the field when the Richmond defenders try and get set in their zone. The quick ball movement's really troubling them at the minute, but it's a brave kick to bite off that first one. But if you can hit it, if you're good enough to find it, it opens up the whole field of play. And Tom Green in there, he got sold a bit of a hospital handball, good enough and strong enough in the tackle to keep the ball going on. But the important thing was he kept that ball going back through the corridor where all the numbers were.
He's a big, bullish forward when he's going, isn't he, Jesse Hogan? Do you like the look of him out there and what he's doing with that Giants forward line?
Yeah, I do. He just moves so well. We know how good he can be when he's up and firing, and it's good to see him back and making a good fist of it.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy bounces good. Underway again. Tigers, they're certainly being challenged. Tommy Green swoops on it. Hand pass over the top is good. They'll run it out of the centre again through Hopper. Hopper now, low ball is good, and onto the chest of Hogan, that man again, who led to a bit of space about 40 out, and he's on a better than 45-degree angle.
Yeah, and the GWS midfield get around each other, high fives everywhere. Green again it was, got the ball, could have just put it on his boot, kicked a little munger inside 50, but took the opportunity to handball back through the corridor, clear direction from the Giants coach's box.
I think Jesse Hogan is kicking this from the exact same spot he's kicked the last goal. The actual exact same bit of turf.
He runs in, should have the confidence up, and he does. That's a lovely drop punt. Hogan's got 2 in 30 seconds. And the Giants have created a bit of space here between them and the Tigers. 20 points up, 4.5 second term, 6-3-39 to 3-1-19. Triple M Choice Hotels scoreboard.
Again, just touching on the ball movement, just the want to get it back through the corridor. The handball was out from Green, it was over the top of his head. But Jesse Hogan, he found himself with a bit of a mismatch on Broad. Really good forward craft. Harvey Norman replay, let out full-chested. I reckon you're 100% correct, Joey. To the blade of grass, it would have been almost to the millimetre.
I'll tell you what, that Tom Green is going to be some special player. His last month has been very, very good. His hand's there to be able to pick that up clean, handball over his head, straight onto Hopper. He's something special.
And it was his strength in the passage of play before that on the outer wing. Yep. Interesting to see that he found himself in and out of the side earlier in the season when they weren't going so well.
So they've skipped out to a 20-point lead now, GWS, and they're getting it done through the middle of the ground for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Can they win another centre clearance, or can the Tigers respond? No, the Giants will win it again. Chain of handballs. Kelly to Perryman, and they find another mark inside 50, and it's Jesse Hogan again. He's almost the same distance out as his previous two, but this time he's more directly in front, about 8 metres around from where he's had his last 2 kicks. And he's going to go for his 3rd goal in literally a minute.
He's taken a flamethrower to this joint. He is dead set, lit it on its head.
So Jesse Hogan for 3 goals in a minute. From right on 50, straight in front. As he got the journey, he doesn't. He did, but didn't have the accuracy. It was going to test him. He's got a smile on his face, which is great to see. And the Giants lead this by 21 points early stage of second term.
Short from full-back, goes very short into the back pocket of Lawson, who kicks the outer side wing. Iden and Martin in a one-on-one. And Iden slapped it out of his hands, out of bounds. So Jesse Hogan, all of a sudden, he's the first multiple goal scorer on the ground. 3 shots in a minute and a half. 2 of those goals. 21 points up the Giants. 6.5 second term. Boundary throw in. Slap to the side of the pack. Naish got there first with Hooley. Punched out to Martin. Hand pass back to Naish. He was under the pump. Got tackled. Hand pass to Pickett in a big pack. Tried to get over the top to Castagna. It's got, it might have been Briggs. Briggs again. Short and Hogan's marked. Hogan's marked 40 out on a slight angle. The kick came from Tommy Green, and can you believe this, Stace?
Well, I can. He's always threatened to do this, and at times throughout his career he has been that pure just lead up forward. We all know the talent. He's got his body right, he's got his mind right. It's great to see. But again, just a good passage of play out of that stoppage by the Giants.
Hogan for his third. Drops it onto his boot. He's third in a few minutes, and he's put it through. Kept it half post high, but the drop punt was good. And Jesse's got 3. The smile's got bigger. 7-4-46 the Giants. And Richmond stagnant at the moment on 3-1-19. 7.5 second term. Triple M Choice Hotels scoreboard. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com.
Well, it's the back line that looks all at sea. And as I look out there through the centre of the ground, Noah Bolter is now going into the ruck. So far tonight, he's played forward, out of position, and now doing some heavy lifting in the ruck. Now, he's the experienced head down there. We know how good he can be at setting up that defence, coming off and intercept him. I wouldn't think it'd be too long before the runner goes out and says, maybe just find yourself back that way and be the general down there like you have so far throughout your career.
Red Z Lending stats, you mentioned the looks that GWS are getting, Days. Trailing the inside 50s 12-14, but leading the marks inside 50 7-2. Jesse Hogan with 4 of those in the first 8 minutes this term.
Has been an issue for Richmond this season. They are conceding a lot of scores when it goes inside their defensive 50, and they're doing it again tonight. Can they respond for McDonald's and Ream hot water? Triple M Rocks footy. The big guns are in there. Taranto tries to break the Dusty tackle. Well done, Dusty. Trying to flex his muscles, trying to do it on his own. He can't at the moment, although he might get the footy again here. No, it goes wider. Naish to the young man, Ralph Smith. Can he kick a goal on debut? This will lift his side. Misses. Look good off the boot. He's got a wonderful mullet going. Young Hugo Ralph Smith, and it's just through for one behind. So they trail by 26 points, and they move the ball quickly from full-back.
Yeah, pair him into Whitfield. Well, that was a moment, wasn't it, for the Tigers? The young man, as Joey said, could have really lifted the roof here. Just to the left. As Taranto accepts it from Whitfield by foot. And he marks a true centre-half back. Looks outside defensive 50. The mark taken by Taylor. Short ball to Kelly. So they're still at half-back, the Giants, but they're keeping the ball away from Richmond. They have a 26-point lead. The GWS called a play on Kelly. Long drop punt across the wing, outer side of the ground. Big pack, mainly Tigers. Flynn was in there for the Giants. Punch to ground level. Collier Dawkins grabs it. Hand pass Castagna under the pump. Hand pass to Naish. Went past him and out of bounds on the wing. And another boundary throw in. Giants have done it nicely this term. Hogan's kicked their 3 goals for the quarter. And they lead by 26 points.
So Bolter and Flynn will battle it out in the ruck. Under all sorts of pressure here, the Tigers. Marlon Pickett having a stint on ball. Dusty's up around the stoppage. Josh Kelly on hands and knees. Pickett wraps him up. Umpire's going to give him a chance. So Kelly's happy to flip the ball out wide. Tom Green with those sharp hands.
Ooh.
Back to Callum Ward. Well done, Pickett. Met him front on, smothered the football, and it went out of bounds. Although, let's see if we can take a listen.
No, I didn't see. I just saw a ricochet. So, unless you can see, I reckon we're just going to throw it in.
Yeah, the boundary umpire thought it might have been on the full, and he's conferred with the field umpire, and they've said no, we'll throw it in.
Richmond, Joey, you said around the contest getting beaten heavily. They've had to send another number up, which means Buntine is spare behind the footy for the Giants.
Footy spun in. Kelly, bottom of the pack, little hand pass to Whitfield. Whitfield will go back to Kelly. Missed him by hand, though. And they go in numbers. Castagna for Richmond. Hand pass to Naish. He put him under the pump. The ball's on the wing on the outer side. He was wrapped up by Callan Ward. And the umpire will ball it up. So Richmond trying to lift their days, but the skills of the Giants just finding targets in this second term.
Yeah, just been really crisp and taking the ball through the corridor, which means they're getting some really good looks going forward.
And what I like too, Daisy, is they're holding their 6 forwards, the Giants, so they're not allowing Richmond to get that free play they love to get as Dusty goes to work at the stoppage, fed the handball back to Hawley, who gets the 1-2 off Bolter. Giants pressure's good. They flick it around. The Giants turn the ball over. Wonderful pressure. Toby Green, indiscriminate handball, didn't go anywhere, so Basher Hawley tries to clear the area. Dusty, even he can't get a clear possession. The Giants have got numbers everywhere, and they're streaming through the middle. Where's Hogan? It goes to him in a one-on-one with Broad. Oh, Hogan had 2 hands to it. Couldn't take the mark. And then the Tigers get numbers back. Short to Broad, and then McIntosh, and they clear to the wing where Connor Iden gets a fist to the ball. It'll stay in play. Big Dan Curvis comes through like a big tank. Oh, neck the tank, just nailed Connor Iden. Well done by the young man, though. He took it, got to his feet, fixes up his hairdo, and he runs back to position. That was a big contest. We almost felt that from up here,
That was a car crash. We saw it coming. Everyone saw it coming. Both players fully committed. Well done to them.
Oh, on the boundary line right in front of you, Mickey Roberts for Bob Jane T-Marts. You're okay.
I caught the noise. Seriously. Whack. And it rebounded off the roof. 2 big blokes having a crack.
Bob Jane T-Marts, SUV and 4x4 flash sale ends this weekend. Up to 20% off alloy and steel wheels, bobjane.com.au.
Giants win another stoppage towards half forward. Himmelberg been quiet so far, but they haven't needed him because Hogan's been the man who's on fire. Lloyd, run down tackle. Boston was a beauty. Umpire called play on. Fans aren't happy. Game's heated up in the last minute or so. And Asprey's wrapped up as well. Pressure's lifted. Intensity's good. Giants are up for the fight. You know, the Tigers are always up for the fight. But at the moment, they're under pressure. Briggs wins the tap down to Jacob Hopper. Couldn't get his hands free. Another couple of tackles. Liam Baker was looking at the umpire, pleading for a free kick. They won't get it, but they might not need to because they win the footy. Ralph Smith, the handball though. Again, the Giants' pressure's good. Tom Green, his hands are beautiful. Got it out to Whitfield. Ash, look at the Tigers. Numbers everywhere. Hot footy to be won. And now the Giants through Tom Green. Clever kick, last minute, lowers the eyes. Finds Himmelberg 50 metres out. Gee, it's a hard footy to win at the moment.
Just needs to take a breath here, I reckon, Joe. I reckon he's got the distance in the legs. You'll only have to drop it on the boot from 50. Take a moment. It's a hot, hot footy. Take the responsibility. Go back. Take a bit of sting out of it. If you can kick this will be absolutely huge for his side.
And I reckon Basher Hawley's missed about 3 metres on the mark there. Himmelberg took the mark.
Richmond.
Oh, it's against Jesse Hogan.
It's down there. It's a Richmond free. Jesse, against you.
So they made the move, the Tigers. Hogan was getting a hold of Asprey. So they put Broad to Hogan, and he's just getting under his skin. And he's just got Hogan a bit ruffled at the moment. So the play will go on, Baz.
Yeah, there's a bit going on down there as that ball was waiting to come in. Jesse Hogan and Broad having a fair crack in the end. As Joey said, Jesse just lost his cool. Castagna on the wing. Kicks the ball to half forward for the Tigers. Up goes Lynch in front, won't mark. Taranto at half back. Fell over his own feet. Ralph Smith laid the tackle. Spills back to Lynch. It's 50 from Richmond's goal. The Giants work in numbers. Little short ball will come out to Callan Ward. And he takes the mark. He's on the boundary line, still at half back. Oh, squares up a dangerous ball to centre half back to Whitfield. Nice pass in the end. And he goes short and further back to Buckley. Inside his defensive 50. Switches to the outer side wing, where Jesse Hogan's made a lead a long way from goal and taken the mark. And he gets plenty of advice from the Richmond fans on the outer side wing.
His work rate's been enormous, Jesse Hogan. Giants lead this by 26 points. They led by 9 at quarter time. Happy just to take a bit of sting out of it for a minute or so. Been a pretty frenetic second term. A lot of numbers around the ball, a lot of tackles. Oh, Whitfield just tried to bite off a bit too much. Wonderful intercept mark taken by Mansell with the one hand. And this is the Richmond way on the counter-attack from half-back. Dusty's in a one-on-one in the goal square. He normally wins this 9 times out of 10. And he does again. He takes the mark near the boundary line. But this is bread and butter for Dusty. He'll just step out, snap it, and put it through. The crowd tell the story, and as he has done so many times for this footy club, when they need a goal, they turn to their superstar and he delivers again. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard, they peg it back, Richmond, 4-2-26. GWS 7-4-46. Good game of footy halfway through the second term, Ethan.
Yeah, Reds Ed Lending stats. The pressure is lifted in the second term. AFL average for pressure factor 179. Richmond 199. GWS 206 so far.
Oh, it's hot.
And they've had to put Dusty Martin forward, Baz, because Rewalt, what are his numbers so far tonight, Ethan?
Jack Rewalt, 2 disposals, yet to hit the scoreboard.
And Tom Lynch?
Tom Lynch, 2 disposals.
So they've been very quiet up there. They're 2 big power forwards. Again, the responsibility is falling on Dustin Martin's shoulders. Just a big pivotal moment in this game when the ball was up the other end having a shot at goal. The Jesse Hogan free kick, the Tigers go up the other end and pay. See if that can spark them.
Make note of that one, Daisy. Let's see what impact that has in this game.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Pickett tries to track the ball back for Richmond. Lays a tackle on Hopper. Ball spills, in dispute. Toby Green tries to barge through the pack. Player caught high. Here's young Briggs. As he dove to the bottom of that pack. He's got the free kick. Bit of feeling creeping into the game.
That's good, Baz. We liked it. We wanted them to lift. And I'll tell you what, the Tigers fans, they're 10-1 GWS fans, and they've lifted as well.
So Briggs, long ball. Nice drop punt from the young man. Inside, a big leap. And a big mark has been taken. And it is the big man in Flynn who's gone forward and marked about 40 out directly in front. That's a big leap. Harvey Norman replay.
That is an absolute clunk of the footy. He's a big, big man. 201 centimetres, 104 kilos, Baz. Ooh. He just presented and launched at it, didn't he?
Do you reckon that's how the coaches scripted it up when they brought the big twin towers in today? Just kick it to each other.
I wonder what it would be like to be as light as 104 kilo. Flynn directly in front at the locket end. 48 out, drop punt. It's sort of wobbly sideways, but it goes long and to the left. And through for a point. 7-5-47 are the Giants. 4-2-26 the Tigers. 18 minutes second term. Choice Hotel scoreboard. Good game of footy.
Richmond take the kick in. Short, goes wide to Hawley, who went looking for Graham. Pickett tried to take it out of his hands. Goes towards Tom Lynch, needs to lift. Sam Taylor's won that battle again. He's dominating him, Sam Taylor. And the kick goes towards Toby Green. Well done, Basher Hawley. Got a fist in. And it goes out of bounds. Right below us. Interchange side, Marvel Stadium. 7.5 minutes left in the half. Giants lead by 21 points. Under pressure here, Richmond. But they're still in this contest. Nankervis, Taranto, another clearance. Clever handball to Ash. Has he got the pace to run away from Jack Graham? He does. He takes a bounce through the middle of Marvel. And then he kicks it to the advantage of Flynn. It's a good kick. Doesn't get to him on the full. It had to bounce. And then Flynn had a fumble. Or it's Briggs, in fact, now, who's gone to full forward. Himmelberg, under pressure. Handball out of bounds. Unfortunate there. It was another good passage from a stoppage. Unfortunately, the big man at full forward couldn't quite take it.
You see Toby Green down on the haunches there. Not sure if he's just foxing a little bit, going to pounce up and hit this stoppage at pace, or if he is actually a bit puffed.
Spins in, does the footy. The Giants close to home. Nankervis grabs it out of the ruck, tries to work it out. Got 10, 12, 15 players around the pill. Grabbed by Lloyd, hand pass towards Callan Ward. Went to ground, footy underneath him. Players pile in on top. The umpire to surely ball it up. Choice Hotels around the grounds. Ethan, what's happening in Adelaide?
It's the Western Bulldogs leading Port Adelaide by 19 points early in the second term. Easton Wood off with a hamstring injury, though.
Pressure rating, as Ethan said, for the Reds and Landings right up here. Just sense, Daisy, round 9. The 4 points becoming a bit precious now.
Both at 4 and 4 too, but
yep, they are really having a crack at each other. The ball's been punched back to the centre of the ground. The umpire's called for it again. We'll have a ball up in neutral territory right in the centre of Marvel Stadium.
Dan Curvis again grabs it out of the ruck, although he doesn't get much purchase on it. So the Giants will win another clearance. Hopper, Buckley, Taranto, working really well by hand. Riccardi out to Tom Green. Usually likes to give it by hand. He wanted to, but now he's got time and space. He should have kicked it. He took too long. Now he drew the man, gave the handball to Taranto. Goes to Toby Green in the pocket. Couldn't take the mark. Well done, Grimes. But Green back on it. O'Halloran in there. And Toby Green's wrapped up by about 4 Tigers. And they needed all 4 to stop him. And we'll have it thrown up. 40 around from the Giants' goal. Right forward pocket.
Footy slung in the air. Slap to the back of the pack. Grabbed by Lloyd. Little hand pass back towards Tommy Green. He's 55 from home. He goes low with a drop punt inside. Danger ball. Chaos. 20 metres from their goal. Tigers on up to the task. Trying to bounce away. Was H caught. Play on, said the umpire. No, it's going to come back. as Tommy Lynch took a mark on the wing and wanted to play on. That's why the Richmond fans are filthy. It's going to come way back to half-back when Naish, who kicked the ball, will receive it. Hand passes off to short. They're still deep inside their defensive 50 now. Goes right across to Grimes. Kick outside defensive 50 to Hurley. Has he got someone on the overlap? No, so he goes long to half forward with the drop punt.
Rewalt's in this contest, being quiet besides that big hanger he took in the first term. Couldn't take the mark. Riccardi, he'll go long to a one-on-one. That's going to be a good matchup. Bobby Hill was out positioned and he gave away the free kick. Richmond fans, they feel hard done by. Gee, they've had it tough, haven't they, the Tigers fans? They've had it tough. They've only won 3 of the last 4 flags.
And they've had to drive 12 Ks to get in tonight too, Joey. They've had it real tough.
They're not happy because they're under the pump. It's a good game. The Giants are taking it up to him. Tom Lynch at half forward. Couldn't take the mark. Bounced to his feet. The ball came straight to him. Dusty in a one-on-one top of the square. Well done, Connor Iden. Although Dusty on the ground.
No.
You can't keep him down.
No.
I was just about to say, well done, Connor Iden. And it was. He wasn't outmarked. He brought it to ground. But Dusty does what Dusty does. And he's kicked his second off the ground. And all of a sudden, just like that, Daisy, they're back within 15 points.
Yeah, they obviously really like young Connor Iden down there too, because as soon as Dusty's gone forward in the first quarter, we called it, he's gone and given him the matchup. Just 100 metres off the ball at one point. Those two were isolated inside forward 50. He did a good job, Iden did, to get it to ground. But just fortuitously, the ball boggled around. Somehow made its way back to Dusty Martin's boot, and he was good enough, just a little outside of the boot, off the grounder for Harvey Norman. Just a real little piece there from Dusty. How good is he?
No, that's just footy smarts.
Every time you come to the footy, you get amazed by how good he is and what he can do.
Well, there's just been a little bit of the grand final about this. They're under all sorts of pressure, 27 points down, and then who steps up when they need him just before half-time, just to get them back in the contest.
He's a star, drags them through the gate, Dusty Martin. For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy, the Giants, can they go again? Kelly in the centre, hand pass Perryman, kick partially smothered, you heard it from the umpire, spills into the arms of Hurley, Basher, little hand pass off to Baker, kicks out in front on the wing here to big Nan Curvis, look at big Toby go, trying to trap the best ball, and ran away from him, he was filthy, and it went out of bounds.
You are a Happy Gilmore fan, Baz?
Yes.
Mr. Larson there just going through his gears, chasing down the bloke who stole the green jacket, shoot him, McGavin.
Yes.
Well, the ball will be thrown in. Tigers half forward line. Broadcast side of Marvel. Kelly wraps up. Hey, what are Ethan Melger for Red Z Lenny? What are Dusty Martin's numbers this game, please?
Dustin Martin, 15 disposals, 8 in this term, which is the most of any Richmond player.
And 2 goals to go with that. How many score involvements?
Score involvements for Red Z Lenny, Dustin Martin, 4 score involvements.
Yeah. He's been everywhere again in this first half. Flynn gives it to Lockie Whitfield. He goes long down the line. Overshot Toby Green. So Richmond have numbers back there. Grimes to Broad, and they'll switch the play again, the Tigers. This is where they're good. Young Mansell, like his game. Short and wide. Jaden Short had plenty of it. He's going to stream towards half forward. It's a low kick for Jack Rewalt. Well done, Buckley, right on his hammer. Not giving him an inch. Although Jack Rewalt on his backside won the footy. Swept a handball 20 metres forward. But the Giants have got numbers there, and they'll repel from half back.
Yeah, coming, little low ball, good onto the chest of Taranto, marks on the wing. And Callan Ward running past. Look to go wide to Lloyd. With a short pass from him over the top to a loose Kelly. He's 75 from home, turns left foot, drop punt to Hogan. And Jesse's marked in the pocket. He's about 25 out and he's going to get 50 days.
He will. Big Nank just made him earn it. The big right arm swinging into the midriff.
Hey, it's a 50. Let us handle it. Let us handle it.
Open goal to Jesse Hogan. Then he kicks it and goes back down onto his haunches. Had the wind knocked out of him. He's got 4, Jesse Hogan, all in this second term, and they go to 8-5-53, the Giants. 21-point leaders, 5-2-32 Richmond. 25.5 second term. Choice Hotel scoreboards. It's all happening, Days.
It is all happening. We'll have a look at this one. Big Nank. It was an open hand, so there's nothing in it. There's no weeks or anything like that. But yeah, it was a bit late. He got the 50 and 4 goals to him. He's been unbelievable in this quarter.
Certainly has. There's a Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Caught one right across the tummy and rolled around on the ground. The umpire told him 50 and he was a little bit happier. Get the new Philips Prestige Series 9000 wet and dry electric shaver That's now at Harvey Norman.
Red Z leading stats. The Giants have dominated at ground level this term, as you were sort of looking at, Joey. 30-13 ground ball gets, 20-6 loose ball gets this term.
And we've got a blood rule, I think. Mickey Roberts, Bob Jane T-Marts, Big Jesse's off.
Yeah, I think he got it earlier, and it's just decided to bleed again in that contest. So it's around the mouth and the nose area. He's just cleaning it up. He'll be back on. He's only frustrated.
McDonald's and Ream hot water. Giants with another centre clearance. Hopper to Flynn towards half forward. Toby Green lurking. He's got Tom Green running past. Ignored him. Went on his left boot and found Bobby Hill coming out of the goal square.
Metres, please.
Oh, they're all over them, the Giants. And Bobby Hill's taken the mark. 30 metres out in a slight angle.
Bobby! 1 metre, please. Thank you.
Nice bit of play from Toby Green.
15 gone.
He's so clever. Down at his feet. He could have given the handball. He decided to go alone. And young Bobby Hill, who's had a quiet night, can extend the 21-point lead. Walks in from about 40 out. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. Kicks the ball into the Giants cheer squad. And they get another one. And on the Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard, they now go 9-5-59, back out to 27 points, equal game high. Richmond 5-2-32, just under 3 minutes left in the half.
Battle of the Superstars, got Dusty Martin up one end, Toby Green up the other, and in there, traffic everywhere, numbers, his ability to win the ball, drop it on his left boot. Bobby Hill presenting just some serious wheels that young fella has. It's good to see. And good to see Presence of Mind hasn't had a big night by the numbers, Ethan, Bobby Hill.
Just the 3 disposals so far.
Good on him to go back, take the responsibility, kick the goal.
Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments tonight. One of life's great people, Dale Thomas, delivering consistent, long-term returns for members. C-Bus for us all. Round the grounds for Choice Hotels, Heath. What's happening in Adelaide?
Well, the Power are back in front. The Dogs got out to a 26-point lead, but Port Adelaide now leading 7-1-43 to 6-2-38.
So 5 goals from 5 inside 50s this quarterback.
Gee whiz, that happened quick.
That did. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Out of the centre, little punch forward towards the Tigers' way, and Baker's on the end of it as he ran off half forward, kicked the Lynch on a lead in the pocket. He's worked underneath the foot, he won't mark. Coming in the back pocket for the Giants. Hand pass smothered, he just waited a little long. Tried to get it to Buntine. Buntine went and cleaned up. They're under pressure here. Tommy Green got his head over it. 40 from the Tigers' goal. Richmond swoop all over him, trying to find an opportunity. McIntosh kick smothered. Bounce back his way. Hand pass to big Tommy Lynch. Had to wait for it to bounce. McIntosh comes in again. Still 40 out. They pile on top of him. The umpire eventually blows the whistle, and he'll call for a ball up with 2 minutes left in the first half. And the Giants with a very handy lead of 27 points.
They need something here, the Tigers, and Dusty is at this stoppage. Collier Dawkins tries to come through, but wrapped up by a couple of GWS players.
Yeah, boys, thanks.
Their pressure's been awesome in this first half, the Giants. They're looking to jump inside the top 8. Leapfrog the defending champs. Thrown up again. A lot of numbers around this footy, so it's going to be hard to get a clear possession, although the Giants, again, that ground ball in tight. Hopper to Tom Green. Wide ball. Himmelberg happy to see it out of bounds. And they get it towards the wing.
Ethan, you've got Noah Bolter's numbers, please, for Red Z.
Yeah, Red Z leading stats, just the one handball so far tonight.
Yeah, so he's still playing full forward at the minute, so it's the back line that's a concern for mine. I wouldn't mind seeing him go back to his best spot. We saw the experiment, of course, with Darcy Moore a few weeks ago from the Pies. Get them back, put them in their correct position.
Bottom of the pack, Collier Dawkins kicks it out for Richmond towards half forward. Now it's a fight for the footy. Players from both sides put their head over the ball. Dusty Martin gets up at the bottom of the pack. He's dragged down in a tackle. Hand pass to try and find a teammate wide. Whitfield lays a good tackle on Vloston. They roll around on the deck. Quick kick out of the pack by Tommy Green. Only went 10 metres. Whitfield toe poked it underneath the pack to Toby Green. He gets a rush kick into the centre, but it's marked by Short for the Tigers. He'll go back with a long ball about 45 metres out to the outer side wing. McIntosh will mark play on, kept the eyes low, and hits up Bolter about 40 out on a 45-degree angle.
Richmond coaches box must be taking this call, Baz. They've just given a big stuff here to Daisy in the back row here.
Yep. They certainly did, which is very rare, Dace. That happens to you.
I was keeping a good look at that, and I thought, geez, he's got short on this ball, but he was smart enough when he realised that, stop his lead, push off, and pop back up to the kicker.
So Bolter starts to trot in with a footy. 27 points as the Giants lead. It's going to land short. Did he pull the kick? Big fist on it down to ground level. Who's there first? Graham for Richmond, 25 out. Hand pass comes out towards Collier Dawkins. runs around, little left foot snaps a beauty. Collier Dawkins kicks the goal that Richmond definitely needed. And that is his first career goal. And his mates come to him in numbers, so that's always a good news story. Look at the young man, head down, trying to be humble, but he's not. He's wrapped.
He's absolutely loving it. Nice finish too. Well done to him. And a goal the Tigers desperately needed. We've got 22 seconds to play before the half. Trailing this one by 21 points. So he kicked it, he loved it, Baz, but you're right, he realised he might have gone a little bit over the top, and then he pulled it back pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, hang on, we're still behind.
Very nice finish on the left slipper.
Good on him.
Now they needed that goal, the Tigers. Back to 21 points late in this first half. Of course, ask your plumber to install the Ream. Steady, hot and strong. Ream hot water. Needed it today. Freezing cold in Melbourne. Yep. McDonald's and Ream hot water. Triple M rocks footy. Time still for one more, and it's Collier Dawkins, the man again. Streams out of the centre. Can they get another one? Oh, the kick just missed Tom Lynch. It was deflected by Ash. Baker picks it up. Ball in the forward pocket. Kennards break the tackle. He twists and turns. Gives it to Baker. Handball to the top of the square. Tom Lynch is lurking. 3, 2, 1. They're not going to score. Gee, they held on there, the Giants. It looked like the Tigers were going to get one. They had 20 seconds to get out of the centre bounce. They almost did it, and they couldn't quite. And it sets up for a fascinating second half here at Marvel Stadium. The GWS Giants have come to play. They are taking it up to the champs. And at half-time, they lead by 21 points. Jesse Hogan, the star of the show, with 4 goals that quarter. Giants 9-5-59, Richmond 6-2-38 for McDonald's and Ream hot water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Choice Hotels. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com. For Ream hot water.
Triple M rocks footy.
Ask your plumber to install a Ream. Steady, hot and strong.
Right now, Triple M's rocking footy. But weekdays from 6, Marty Sheargold's back on Triple M.
There's no doubt that coaches who win premierships start to think that they can redesign the game.
Clarko's a bit of an ideas man.
Mate, they're all ideas guys. Yeah. You're not really. Are we going to have to watch Damien Hardwick unravel over the next couple of years? He's making me nervous. You don't have to comment.
You're making me nervous.
The Marty Sheargold Show.
Here if you need.
Weekdays from 6. Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app. Never miss a single goal with McDelivery. Get all your Macca's favourites from Big Macs to the iconic fries, all delivered to your door. Check the Macca's website for your delivery partner.
I'm finance journalist and small business owner David Koch, and I'm going to guide you through the process of starting a small business in my series, Koch's Guide to Starting Your Own Business. From building a business plan to developing your product or service and learning how to effectively market to customers. Search Koch's Guide to Starting Your Own Business. Download the new Listener app now and listen for free. Brought to you by Business NBN. Access to Business NBN Fibre has changed for good.
Listener.
Well, the hottest of hot party you've ever seen. Ream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on.
Ask your plumber about Ream's advanced stainless steel water heaters with 12-year cylinder warranties.
Install a Ream. Install a Ream.
Accept nothing less than Australia's best.
You don't dig wearing thongs. You don't dig during a lightning storm. You don't dig drunk or under the influence of drugs. And you don't dig blindfolded. So don't dig without checking Dial Before You Dig online first. It's the best way to make sure that the next hole you dig isn't the last hole you dig. Avoid high-pressure gas mains and high-voltage electricity cables every time. Search Dial Before You Dig online every time. And avoid digging your own grave.
And we're back following Marcus Bonampelli, who has just broken down on the side of the road. Boy, absolute clanger there. Now, some insurers don't offer free roadside assist for a year, which might leave him struggling to make his game. Fortunately for Marcus, Amy does as an optional extra with a new comprehensive car insurance policy. He can even track their arrival on his phone. Does your insurer help you recover from clangers? Amy does.
T's and C's apply and geographical limitations apply to the digital tracker. Before buying this insurance issued by Amy, read the
PDS. Go to amy.com.au for a copy.
Officeworks doesn't need mega tech bonanzas because our tech is always low priced. Like the Gen 2 Google Nest Hub, just $149. Or an Oppo A15 smartphone, only $197. Always low prices at Officeworks.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
In 2021, Triple M rocks footy.
You don't get that on the other stations.
Temper mattresses. Feel comfort. Feel support. Feel Temper. Find AFL player stories at temper.com.au.
That is a ripper.
Hard Yakka is for a new breed of Aussie legends. Toughness is in their DNA. No shortcuts. Hard Yakka, a history of hard.
That makes it tough.
For Ream and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up. The footy's on Triple M.
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy.
Half-time here at Marvel Stadium, and it's the GWS Giants. They lead by 21 points over the Tigers, 9-5-59. Richmond 6-2-38. It was Jesse Hogan who dominated that second term with 4 goals, 1 of his own. It was a 6-goal to 3-quarter. Dusty Martin tried his hardest to keep the Tigers in it with 2 consecutive goals through that part of the quarter. But the Giants are in control, and it's through the midfield where they're doing all the damage. Lee Montagna here with Barry Denner, Dale Thomas, Ethan Meldrum and Mickey Roberts on the boundary line. And Ethan, some of the numbers that are standing out and why the Giants are dominating this first half.
You're right, Joe. It's all through the midfield. 26 more disposals. Leading contested ball 83-62. Ground ball gets 66-42. So it's all the midfielders that are doing the work for the Giants. The leading ball winners, Jacob Hopper 20, Tim Taranto 20, Tom Green 19. He had 15 disposals in that second term alone. Kelly 15 as well. Jesse Hogan, number 1 ranked player on the ground, 11 touches and 4 goals. For Richmond, Dusty Martin leading all comers with 16 touches and 2 goals. Jaden Short 14, Bashar Hooley 13.
This, of course, is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools. X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe, and extra easy. Dale Thomas, how have you seen it from your eye?
Yeah, well, it's just been the GWS Giants' ability to move the ball and come back through the corridor. That's where they're chopping the Tigers up. And on the back of that, they've been bold in doing that, but at the right times too. There's only sort of been one really stark turnover where the Tigers have gone the other way and hurt them. And when they've gone through the corridor, they've got the runners. They know what's happening. They get the overlap run, and they're getting some really good looks. It was Jesse Hogan in that quarter. He was hitting up at the ball. Bobby Hill got one as well, but Jesse Hogan especially, 30, 40 metres of space to work into at this level when you have blokes coming through the corridor, shoulders out in that, you'd be licking your lips as a forward.
But there's been a bit of a blueprint I think we've seen this year with sides that have beaten Richmond, and it's their ability to use their hands through the traffic and use their hands around congestion. If you think to the Melbourne game on Anzac Day Eve, where Melbourne had a record number of handballs, we saw Geelong do it to them last week where they were able to hold up in tackles, handball, and if you're not forced to do those long dump kicks where Richmond have just preyed on opposition teams for about 3 or 4 years, if you can actually use your hands and break that, you can then find a mark inside 50, and that's certainly been a showcase of the Giants' first half.
And their ability to keep some shape around the ball. A couple of times the ball's bobbled around, they've still won it back, but they've still got handball receive players of a decent distance. They're not all getting sucked in, because we know Richmond, they like to hunt you in numbers around that. So if you can keep your width a little bit, find a handball receive, move the defence, you get some really good looks, find yourself in some decent amount of space.
Ethan, there's another good game of footy going on, 3rd v 2nd over in Adelaide for Choice Hotels around the grounds. If you need a break, book direct and save with Choice Hotels, choicehotels.com. Can you just give us a score and some of the numbers from that game, please?
Yeah, we're 24 minutes into the second term. It's Port Adelaide leading by 5 points over the Western Bulldogs. The Dogs got out to a 26-point lead.
Ooh.
The leading ball winners for that are Ollie Wines, 14 touches and a goal. Darcy Byrne-Jones, 13. For the Dogs, Bailey Dale, 16. Liberatore, 15. Bontempelli, 14 touches and 2 goals.
Now, Daisy, you wouldn't have seen much of the other games today because you, of course, were dominating for the Sorrento Sharks reserves.
Yep.
Gee, the word coming out of there was that you were on fire.
Yep.
It was one of the greatest wins they've ever had, the Sorrento Shark reserves. But there were some big, big results earlier this afternoon. Ethan, can you just recap, please, the winners from today?
It was Sydney defeating Collingwood by 30 points at the SCG. North Melbourne recording their first win of the season, defeating Hawthorn by 7 points. And then the Q-Clash, Brisbane resounding over Gold Coast, 73 points.
And what about the Sorrento Sharks? What was the result in that game, the reserves?
They won by 8 goals, Ethan, and 1D Thomas was pretty average, if we're being completely honest, at halftime.
How many goals for you, Daz?
Plenty. 1.
Hey, Daisy, how have you seen the use of Dusty Martin? Because, of course, he's missing a lot of his experienced midfielders. Obviously, Trent Cotchin and Kane Lambert, Dion Prestius, Shane Edwards. You mentioned during the call they've tried to use him more around the middle of the ground, but then they've also had to need him in the forward line with the other big boys not really firing. You've been happy with how they've used him?
Well, yes, they've sort of had to and been forced to because Lynch and Rewalt not having the impact on the game. Noah Bolt is the one that sort of confused me a little bit. He's going forward as well. The back line's where their issues are at the minute, and he's been playing ruck. He's been playing full forward out of the goal square as well. So Dusty Martin, we know that he likes to rest forward. He's got some good looks. He's kicked 2 goals in that quarter. Noah Bolt is the one I'm going to keep my eye on in this second half. As we sort of touched on in the call, Darcy Moore was the experiment. I think if you just leave those players for too long out of position, they have no impact on the game and almost run themselves out of form a little bit. We know how good he is at intercepting, setting up that defence. I look to see if Damien Hardwick puts him back there in this second half.
Now, one of our favourite segments is always the halftime Amy Clangers. Now, you wouldn't know anything about this, Baz.
No.
You never feature on these. It's always the rest of us that feature.
Yes.
But Amy, who covers Clangers? Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. Let's take a listen to see who features in the first half of this game.
North Melbourne winning their first game of the season, defeating Hawthorn by 7 points.
10,975 days since David Noble took the coaching job and finally got a win. Oh, yeah.
Days.
No, just 1,000.
Hang on,
Yeah,
I'll do a quick calculation here.
So-
10,975 days. That would take David Noble. He began coaching on the, and I'm very good at maths, you know that, Joey. That's on the 28th of April, 1991. He's had to wait 30 years, Dave.
That's a long time.
And I reckon the North Melbourne supporters, they feel it with me.
30 years.
Dale.
Well, he's been coaching from the under-9s.
And we've just kept the record here. Daisy's now gone to the top of the leaderboard for the Amy Clangers half-time segment. That's the 6th time he's featured in 9 rounds. So well done, Daisy.
It was actually 186 days, and Daisy missed out by 10,781.
What have I read here?
Oh, we love it. That's why you're the best, Daisy. You get it all here. A half-time. It is the Giants by 21 points. Stick with us because we have a huge second half to come.
Yes.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe, and extra easy. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M Sunday Rub is always dressed to impress.
Do you reckon Howie's wearing a men's size t-shirt?
It's a small boy's you.
Because it's nice to make a good impression.
Small talk in the media back room here.
I'm a positive. You want to make people feel good, so even if you don't know who they are, they clearly know who I am.
Join the Temper Mattress call team tomorrow from 1 for the D's and Blues. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Mate, welcome to KO. Sport lives here. You're going to love it. But heads up, the fridge is on the fritz. Yeah, Dustin Martin bet Cam Munster he couldn't tackle it to the ground. Turns out he was wrong. Very wrong. So, now we keep the sausages in the esky by the couch. Hope that's all right. KO. Sport lives here. Stream over 50 sports live and on demand. New to KO. Start your 14-day free trial.
At Builders Academy, we make registered building legends with face-to-face and online options available and over 8,000 successful graduates. No wonder we're recognised as Victoria's and Australia's 2020 Small Training Provider of the Year. Learn from the legends at Builders Academy. And right now, you may even be eligible to study tuition fee-free. Don't wait. Call 1300 LEGEND.
Legends making legends at Builders Academy.
RTO code 21583.
Open your ears to Essential Vinyl, exclusive to Listener.
Because we hadn't recorded together yet, and we weren't really sure what was going to happen.
From the killer classics to modern-day masterpieces, these are the albums you need to own.
I've been writing songs that I really liked, but I wasn't challenging myself.
Listener, radio, podcasts, music, news. Download the new app and listen for free.
Listener. At HCF, we have your back when you've done yours in. With 100% back on the first visit to one of our physio, chiro or osteo providers. Because uncommon care is our bottom line. Join HCF today on 13 13 34. Available on selected products, subject to annual limits.
If you're looking for phone plans with award-winning value, now's the time to switch to Vodafone. Because CanStar Blue has just awarded us Outstanding Value Phone on a Plan, which means you can get amazing prices on the very latest devices. Plus, you can connect now and pay it off interest-free over 12, 24 or 36 months when you stay connected to selected plans. For great award-winning value today and every day, switch to Vodafone.
Are you on the go? Do you want to stay on at work, on all day, on after work? Be on in mind and body. Stay on with Power Pollen. Energy all day, every day. No gluten, no added sugar, no caffeine. Pure, clean, natural vegetable superfood potentiated for quick release. Get 3 months supply for $69.95 plus delivery with a bonus pack of honey pollen soap. Try it, no risk. There's a money-back guarantee. Powerpollen.com.au.
The Henley Everyday Advantage with up to $90,000 of premium inclusions, plus up to $25,000 in free upgrades and existing zone discounts. Visit Henley World of Homes and get more of what you want.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Yeah, half-time here at Marvel Stadium. It's Giants leading by 21 points. They're 9-5-59. Richmond 6-2-38. This is the Triple M half-time Bosch Tools break. X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy. Lee Montagna here with Barry Denner, Mickey Roberts, Dale Thomas and Ethan Meldrum. And I'll tell you what, it's a good game of footy going on. And Daisy, I want to ask you, if Richmond lose this game, do you still think they are capable of winning the premiership in 2021?
Oh, that's a big, big one, Joey. If I had to put them on the line, I would go and say no. I'm going to say that if you're not getting the double chance in this day and age, it's probably too hard. Can have a little bit each way, because I think if anyone could, it could be the Tigs, but I'd say no.
It is very hard to write them off, isn't it? Because they have been a team since 2017 that have always evolved as the years gone on. They've adjusted areas of their game and always got better. But it does seem to have a little bit of a different feel this year, although, to be fair, they are missing 5 or 6 of their best players. So we'll just keep an eye on that one. The teams are starting to run back out onto the ground. We're still a few minutes away from the second half. But the big story of today was the Kangaroos. And we just joked before the Amy Clanger about how long it's been since David Noble has had a win. But it was the great story of the day. It was a feel-good moment. I was watching it on TV, Baz,
yes.
And to see the joy on the players' faces, the whole football club, the coach. It was David Noble's 54th birthday. It was a wonderful result and great to see the Kangaroos get their win.
Absolutely, and for someone who's been in that position a fair bit down at the Blues when we weren't going so well, the sort of last 3 or 4 minutes of those games where they were 12 points up, the Hawks kicked the goal, it went down there a couple of times late. You're dead set. You just want the bell to go. And to see the boys' faces at the end of it, the genuine, just over, they just pumped. They were genuinely pumped, Baz. They were just up and about. It was good to see. I don't think there was any tears, but I reckon they couldn't have been too far away. And as you say, on the coach's 54th birthday, he's a Tasmanian boy down there in Tassie. Just good scenes. And it's just good for footy, of course, unless you're a Hawks supporter.
What's it like? I mean, do you stop reading the paper? Do you stop looking at the footy shows during the week, if you do at all? Do you stop listening to the radio? What's it like when you're in that sort of place where everyone's got advice? Mugs like me who eat pies in the grandstand are going to tell you how to get it done. Do you get sick of it? Do you just have to go into your own bubble a little bit?
Yeah, it becomes tough because the more insular you go, that's almost more you're absorbing it, if that sort of makes sense. You don't want to listen to all the outside noise, but in a town like Melbourne, you just can't escape it. You know everyone's talking about you. You try and stick to the process, which is also hard because at times it seems like the process simply isn't working. So at times throughout the Blues, you know, if we had a really bad loss, I think we lost to the Giants here by 100-odd points, it's embarrassing to go to the shops, to go down the street, in the supermarket, always had the hat down low because, you know, you're right, the people pay their money to come to footy and they think they've got a little bit of a right to just say what's going on, and you don't want to have those conversations. So for the North boys, they will certainly sleep well tonight, and unfortunately, as we said, for the Hawks supporters and the Hawks players, not a great result to them. Their last couple of weeks have been pretty poor.
Ethan Meldrum for Choice Hotels around the grounds, half-time at the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, it's close. I'm trying to figure out whether that shot on the siren went through for a behind or not. But if not, it's the Dogs by 1 point at halftime over Port Adelaide. Good
game of footy going on there, and a great game of footy going on here. And the man who's been boundary side, who's been right amongst the thick of it, he's hearing all the hits. He's right there amongst it.
Yes.
For Bob Jane Team Arts, Mickey Roberts.
Joey, I deliberately went into the stairwell where the Richmond coach comes out just before half-time, just to get his mojo when he came out of the actual coaching box up there. And I tell you what, he had the steely eyes. He couldn't wait to get down into the rooms and give them the biggest rev of all time, I reckon, the Tigers have copped at half-time. It's not working to plan for them, so let's see how they go in the second half. Jesse Hogan was the other one. He got a smack in the mouth and actually was bleeding from the nose and the mouth, so they've had to clean up inside his lip. Probably busted through that, but he's okay, Hogan. But let's see how they respond, the Tigers, after probably a rev up at half-time.
Bob Jane T-Marts SUV and 4x4 flash sale ends this weekend, up to 20% off alloy and steel wheels. bobjane.com.au as both teams start to get into position for this second half. We're looking forward to this one. And, of course, IJ Liquor have got you covered this footy season. Get your favourite spirits, beer and wine. Head to ijliquor.com.au to find your nearest store. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
Just as the players making their way out to position can see Noah Bolter going back to his traditional spot down at centre half back. So well done to Richmond, well done to them for tuning into Triple M Footy.
Here's the people's caller, Barry Denner, to get us underway for a big second half of footy here, Saturday night footy at Marvel Stadium.
Thanks, Joey. And as you said, a big test coming up here for the Tigers. We know they've passed them all in the last 5 years, but all of a sudden at 4 and 4 days, and things starting to get a little bit serious in round 9. And the reigning Premier would love to notch up these 4 points tonight. 21 points is the margin they'll chase. Don't forget, Macca's footy. I'm loving it. I'm sure you are too. Macca's footy, it's like the fish in the sea, Joey, and the honey in the bee.
That's one of the other adjustments the Tigers have made, Daisy. They've put Dylan Grimes, their best defender, onto Jesse Hogan, the man with the red-hot hand.
And Vlosten looks like he's gone on ball as well.
I don't mind that because they need a tough... They're getting
big body.
Yeah, they need a big body because they're just beaten up around the footy with Taranto, Hopper, Callum Ward, big Tom Green. So I like this. Nick Vlosten, centre bounce.
It's half-time at Adelaide Oval, as you heard from Ethan Meldrum. The Bulldogs lead that by 1 point over Port Adelaide for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy as we're underway here in the second half. Can the Tigers fight back? They trail by 21 points. Bounce is good. Tap down to the feet of the ruckman. And the umpire crosses the arms and will ball it up.
Same again, Matt Toe.
So the Tigers to the locket end. Well, they'll chase this lead down if they can. The ball thrown in the air. Players flooding off the square. And the umpire no choice again but to ball it up. Still right in the centre of Marvel Stadium. What sort of a crowd are we looking at here tonight, Heath?
It's about half full, I reckon, 23,000.
Liam Baker wins that clearance for the Tigers on his left boot. Goes towards Taylor and Lynch. Taylor's been winning that battle, although Lynch wins on this occasion. Has a shot at goal, misses. He won the battle. He couldn't take the mark. Picked it up off the ground. Sam Taylor fell over. But Lynch just missed to open the scoring for this third term. 6-3-39. They trail by 20 points, the Tigers. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
So coming from full back. Long kick straight up the ground. Himmelberg, a big leap, doesn't mark. Fall the ball, the Tigers. Hand pass comes out to Bashahuli. Nice 15-metre hand pass towards the wing. Gave it to Collier Dawkins. Kicked his first AFL goal in the second term. Kicked to half forward, cut off by the Giants. Grabbed by Buntine. Hand pass to Ward. Hand pass to Ash. Another hand pass will come out to Hopper. Back to Buntine on the boundary line. Just defensive side of the wing. Hand pass to Kelly. Kelly's hand pass inboard is smothered by Bashahuli. O'Halloran tries to burst through the pack for the Giants. They drag him down in a tackle. It's fair dinkum from here on in. Just inside the boundary on the wing, we'll have a ball up.
There was big Nick Vlosten there. Started the quarter on ball, laying the strong tackle. Nankervis and Flynn. Callum Ward, good handball over his head to Kelly, who's along the boundary line. Richmond's pressure's good as always. Flynn just dribbles a kick towards half forward. Bashahuli did well, got the intercept possession. Grimes, Baker, felt the perceived pressure, so he just wobbled one towards half forward, but it set it up for a strong Rewalt tackle on Buntine, who had to stand under the footy, and it's been a physical start to this third term.
Big 5 minutes of footy coming up for the Giants. The Tigers are coming out breathing fire. Can the GWS Giants, the young stars, stand up under it?
Flynn and Nankervis go at it. Ground level ball, trying to punch it out the bottom of the pack. The Giants, Kelly. Kelly hand pass back to Ward off the side of the boot. It's out in the... In fact, it was Buntine who kicked it out in the full. So Broad to keep it in for Richmond. He's just forward of the wing, broadcast side of the ground. But the umpire says you better hand pass it to Pickett because he was closer. So Pickett will bring it in. Runs off the wing. Drop punt, long to full forward. Lynch is in that pack with Rewalt. Back of the pack, Lynch nearly grabs it. Punts it out towards Nankervis. Big Toby stands in, tackles. And the umpire to ball it up. Still 20 metres out from the Richmond goal at the locket end.
Opportunity again for the Tigers. A lot of Giants numbers back there. They're wearing the bright orange. And we'll get another stoppage.
Tom, are you up?
So Richmond need to try and generate something early. Dusty, he kicked the 2 goals in that second term. Can't get free on that occasion. Goes back at it. Giants have got the numbers. Hard footy to be won. In low and hard again. And the umpire's going to let them play. And he's allowed them to play to the point where the Giants win the footy again. And the handball shovels out to Kelly, who kicks towards the wing. Richmond have got the numbers here, but again, forward handballs. This is the way the Giants have tried to play. They've used the numbers. Clever kick by Toby Green inboard to the hot hand Hogan. Couldn't take the mark, but they're streaming forward everywhere. Hopper can pop it over the top to Bobby Hill, who continued to run inside 50. He got nailed as he took the mark from Camden McIntosh, but he was a fraction late. And Bobby Hill will go back and have a shot from 40 out. Tough angle. So again, that wave of numbers, Dale Thomas, the wave of handballs, they're not kicking it long. They're trying to use their numbers through the midfield. It's been working.
It has been, and the kick from Toby Green, he looked up. There was +1 behind the ball for the Tigers. He pulled the kick inboard. It was slightly risky, but some good competition in the air there by the GWS players. Saw them get the handball out the front door and a shot on goal to Bobby Hill.
Kick one in the second quarter, did Bobby Hill. This one's not going to register a score. It's going to land on the top of the square. And the fist went through and hit the post. That's why it ricocheted back into play and through from behind. Giants 60, Richmond 39. It's a 21-point lead early stages, third term, Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Short to broad in the back pocket. It's deep. The Tigers trailing by 21. Kick out to the outer side wing. Back of the pack coming. Martin was the target coming off his hands, grabbed it and ran out of bounds. So the boundary umpire to throw it back into play. Giants in the box seat here, 5 minutes third term. If they can withhold the Tigers, perhaps the game is there. Boundary throw in, Flynn and Nankervis. Nankervis slapped to the side of the pack, coming again. Grabs the footy and runs out of bounds. Tigers fans starting to get a bit frustrated out in the outer side wing. The umpire said, that's okay, throw it back in.
Well, Richmond have had to bring a couple of numbers up to this stoppage. Daisy, they've only got the 4 forwards of Tigers because they know they need to start winning this ball in the middle of the ground. Dusty, he's one of those up there. He does win that clearance. Throws it on the boot, but there's exactly our point. You got to give something, and if you're going to put extra numbers around the footy, you're not going to have them forward of the ball. And the Giants took the intercept mark, and they come in through the corridor. Bobby Hill finds Whitfield, although the fist from Grimes was a beauty. Got there right at the last minute. And then Baker was pinged holding the ball. Richmond fans aren't happy tonight. As we've said, they feel hard done by, and it's going to be Josh Kelly, centre-half forward. Sees a one-on-one he likes. It's Jesse Hogan and Marlon Pickett. It was a clever kick. He saw the mismatch. He just kicked it up high to the one-on-one, and Marlon Pickett's given away the free kick. And Jesse Hogan will take it about 25 out, 30 out on a tough angle for a right footer. But he'll go back to kick number 5.
Yeah, when he first kicked it, I thought he might have shanked it a little bit because it did have a lot of height for an inside forward 50 entry, but it was smart. He saw the mismatch. He also saw that Jesse Hogan had the back space as well. Marlon Pickett had to find the body, gave away the free kick in the process.
So Hogan for number 5. Ball goes across the face. Won't register a score, and Nankervis takes another mark from opposition.
So big Toby, deep back pocket. But the Giants are pressing early in this third term. Richmond withholding. Short kick's gone out in the full. And Toby Green's going to bring it back in. So Nankervis went low and wide to broad. Just too wide from the back pocket, and Toby Green is right on where the forward 50 arc meets the boundary line. Outer side of the ground. Giants to the Coventry end to the right of our broadcast position. Runs around, plays on, kick past Lee smothered. Ball will spill, the Giants can go again. Whitfield, underground hand pass. Asprey got in the way in the back pocket. Push it out to Baker in traffic, did well. Kicks outside, Lynch gives a shove on his opponent Taylor, but the ball went out of bounds, he couldn't trap it. They'll have another boundary throw in, this time halfway between wing and half forward, the Giants' way on the outer side of the ground.
So been a good start to this third term. Either side yet to kick a major. But Richmond have lifted, and they have to. And they've got to lift around the football here because Taranto, Hopper and Ward, etc. have been getting on top. And we'll get a repeat stoppage. Nick Vlosten's gone on ball. Dusty Martin has now gone to rest at full forward. So he's going to rely on his teammates here to win some clearance. Baker, Collier, Dawkins are all in there. Briggs doing the ruck work. Callum Ward, the Giants again will win the clearance. Whitfield off the back. Beautiful kicking board to O'Halloran. And he's going to drive it in deep. Toby Green in a one-on-one with Broad. It'll get to the back. Toby Green usually so clever. He might get a free kick in the back. No, he won't. Jeez, he was stiff. He was driven into the ground and he might be sore. Through to one behind and the Tigers play on quickly.
Yeah, Ashbury's got it at half back, but he's tackled by Kelly out of bounds. But Toby Green's just got back up. What do you reckon, Dave?
Oh, it should have been a free kick. Absolutely driven into the ground. Harvey Norman replay. Ridden into the ground. Could have put a saddle on him. Could have had him at headquarters today. And he saw too. Left shoulder. Might be right shoulder. It's definitely a shoulder.
Boundary throw in. Briggs in the ruck. Tried to tap to the fat side for the Giants. McIntosh in the way in the back pocket for Richmond. Hand pass goes up in the air and the ball's in dispute. Baker, bottom of the pack for the Tigers. Underground hand pass was okay. Grabbed by Graham. Graham hand pass wide to Castagna. Another one, Rioli. Tried to put it out in the path of young Ralph Smith. Went to his toes. He kicks it off the ground now. He's following it Castagna as well. Head over the footy. Coming the other way, Whitfield. Claims it for the Giants. Hand pass to Rando. Hand pass back into a pack of players. The umpire calls for another ball up. It's a hot footy in the third term days. And both sides having a red hot crack now.
They certainly are. The game is lifted and the fans have driven the 11-minute drive, the 6 kilometres from the MCG where they wanted to play it from the Tigers. They're up and about.
Oh, Asprey wins the ball back at half-back and he's kicked it about 20 metres backwards. It came off the side of his boot. Luckily, Broad was there to mop it up, although the short kick might be picked off. Although the spoil went straight back to Broad. And they're away here, the Tigers. Although Liam Baker's kick was poor also. It just wobbled inside 50. But Dusty gets the hand in, gets the smother. Handball missed the mark. He'll have to go back and do it himself. He's got about 4 Giants to beat. He does. He beats them all. Handball to Castagna. Twists and turns and goes backwards. And they'll set up from about 70 out. Jaden Short, he's got that booming right kick, and he goes towards Lynch, who takes the mark. He was surrounded by Giants, and on the second bite at the back of the pack, he took the mark, and he'll go back to kick his second goal and get them back within 3 kicks.
First time in this evening that he's got a little bit of separation from Sam Taylor. He was the man he jumped on to take that mark. Really great kick in by Short. Penetration carried the big pack of players about 25 metres out.
Gee, the penetration was good off one step from Jaden Short. He kicked it right to where Tom Lynch needed. Can he kick his second from about 15 out on a slight angle? It hits the post.
It's Tommy.
We'll quickly get down to the boundary line. Robbo, Bob Jane T. Marks.
I think I told you at quarter time, Joey, that Jake Arts had a problem with the left ankle. Boot off now, re-strapped, so having real problem. Pain through the left ankle.
Bob Jane T. Marts SUV and 4x4 flash sale lens this weekend. Up to 20% off alloy and steel wheels. BobJane.com.au. Ball out of full back. Kick to the wing. Ralph Smith for Richmond claims it. Hand pass Bolter. It's traffic though. Hand pass Rioli tackled. His hand pass cut off by Kelly at half back for the Giants. Sweeping hand pass to Riccardi. Another one off half back and the Giants are away. A bounce on the footy by Ash. Goes onto the right boot. In fact, it was coming. A long ball to half forward to Green. Gets in front. Takes the mark. No, umpire didn't pay it. Didn't pay it. Wrapped up in a tackle by Broad. He's filthy.
No.
Toby's filthy.
That's how I hold the ball.
Broad getting up asking, why isn't it holding the ball?
21 points up the Giants, 11.5 third term. IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Loving this game, good intensity. Richmond aren't going away. Giants are dishing it to them. Jack Graham goes in hard. He tries to burst through the tackle. Tom Green for the Giants just rips it out of his hands and then sends it to the top of the square. Himmelberg there. McIntosh as the extra defender. He dropped back and took a nice intercept mark.
McIntosh out of the back pocket. Kicks outside to 50, defensive 50 to Castagna. And he marks in front of Perryman. Called the play on, runs around. He'll kick it back here to the wing. Nankervis out of position. Flynn will mark. Went over Big Toby's head. Sort of looks up the ground and says, what was that? Kick in board to Whitfield. Marks in the centre. The Giants can go again. Hogan's real short. Ignores that. Goes a little bit further on to Toby Green. And he's marked about 70 out from the Giants' goal.
Richmond have got the extra defender, so he doesn't want to go long, Toby Green. So he saw the lead of Lloyd, and it was a beautiful kick. The man on the mark's about 47 metres out, but Lloyd will have no trouble with the distance. Robbo, Bob Jane T-Marks looks like an injury.
Yeah, and Perryman, he's just grabbed a hamstring. Really disappointed, took himself off the ground. Doctors around him, straight into the room. So hamstring for the Giant.
Yeah, they rate Perryman too. Had some injury troubles. Had glandular fever earlier in the year. But it's going to be Daniel Lloyd from 52 metres. He's pulled the kick through for one behind. So we've played 13 minutes in this third term. Still haven't had a goal from either side, but it's still good intensity. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, 62-40, 22-point lead of the Giants. Ethan, some Red Z lending numbers this quarter?
Well, you're right. The pressure's right up. AFL average for pressure factor 179, GWS 193, Richmond 200. It's affected the kicking efficiency though.
Now, the kick was out from full back. There's a Giants player down on his haunches. The umpires come in, Dave. What do you see?
Yeah, Noah Bolter came in to put the block, but as he came in to block, which is well within his right to do, the GWS player there, I think it is O'Halloran, he jumped in the air and he sort of ended up being tunnelled on the Harvey Norman replay. And as a result of that, he's going to get a free kick. It was within the 5 metres you're allowed to be of providing a shepherd for your teammate.
So as Daisy said, O'Halloran, well, short stands the mark, and he's only about 16 metres from goal. So O'Halloran, a big opportunity. He's very ginger, walked away. Now he's got the footy. Feeling a bit better. 22 points up the Giants before this kick. 14 and a half minutes into the third term. So this is an important turnover. O'Halloran, can he make them pay? 25 out, drops it on his boot and kicks it. That's his first, and the first for the third quarter. And the Giants go to 10-8-68, 28-point leaders. Richmond 6-4-40. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
I want to have another look at this one because he jumped. Oh, it's tough. We heard the umpires mic'd up exclusively for Triple M saying he was in a vulnerable position. And I think that Noah Bolter had made his mind up before the player had jumped.
That's a free kick, Dave.
You happy with that being a free kick?
Well, he's tried to jump to smother it, and the shepherd was almost from behind. It was almost a shepherd into the back of O'Halloran. The umpire did say he was in a vulnerable position. I'd have to agree.
That's why you got a lot more Brownlow votes than me, Joey.
I think that's fair enough. Against Noah Bolter. These days he's been calling for it, going back to full back. But the Giants have kicked the first goal of this third term. It's taken 15 minutes for either side to score a goal. And the Giants now have a handy lead for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. The trade-off of Bolter going to full-back means Marlon Pickett had to have a stint in the ruck. He took the centre bounce. He tries to follow up and win the clearance, and he does. Does it well, Marlon Pickett. He got it to Baker, who goes wide looking for Naish. The ball will bounce for him. Outer wing, Marvel Stadium, towards half forward. There's Jake Arts. Robbo said got a bit of a crook ankle, and he couldn't really get off the ground on that occasion. And it was Isaac Cumming who took the nice mark.
Bob Jane teammates, Miggy.
Harry Perryman out of the rooms, straight into the back stalls with the tracksuit on. He is gone. Gone with a hamstring. So the med sub is Tanner Bruin. So he gets his chance. So Perryman out of action.
Thanks, Miggy. Miggy Roberts all over it a couple of minutes ago. Was Perryman in trouble as he walked past him? And Mickey said hamstring, and spot on as always. So off half back, the Giants with the ball now towards half forward. Up goes Lloyd, one-on-one with Pickett. Spins off him after making body contact, and the ball goes out of bounds. 28 points, the lead to the Giants. 16 and a half third term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor proudly local, proudly independent. It's been a good hot game of footy in this third term. And a boundary throw in right in front of Joey Montagna in the Triple M broadcast box.
Tom Lynch now having a stint in the ruck, trying to get him involved in the game. Hit went forward, got Connor Iden wrapped up. We just saw on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay a really dejected Harry Perryman. As we said, hasn't had a lot of luck. He's had a bad run with injuries. Get the new Phillips Prestige Series 9,000 wet and dry electric shaver now at Harvey Norman. It's from the ball up. Richmond win the stoppage, but the quick kick only goes as far as Lockie Ash. And again, the Giants want to attack the corridor, and they've got numbers through there. Hopper found Hogan, who gave the handball to Buntime, but it wasn't to his advantage. Put him under a bit of pressure, so he was rushed with a kick, and it went only as far as Jaden Short, and he'll get it out to Nash, and now the Tigers got a bit of overlap. Young Ralph Smith on debut with a beautiful long mullet. Found Castagna, back to Nash. He's going to go inside 50. The kick won't work for Rewald. It'll get to the back. Cumming, putting together a nice game. Although that's going to set a task for his ruckman. It might be turned over. Baker wins the ball back, gives it to Dusty. He'll run around, he'll snap, and he'll kick his third. Dusty's got his third, and they needed that one, Richmond. They get back within 22 points. Triple M IJ, look at scoreboard. 7-4-46. The Giants 10-8-68. 18 minutes gone.
Red Z leading stats, Dustin Martin now Richmond's #1 ranked player on the ground, 21 disposals, 11 of those contested, 4 inside 50s as well as the 3 goals. Richmond doing well on the turnover tonight as well. They've kicked 6 goals from turnover tonight, the GWS's 3.
Well, Joey, I said before, you always took the umpire's position. You really like what they do. You like their work. 21 career Brownlow votes for me after being called the best player in the league. Not enough. 106 to you. You're having a laugh. You got to feed it to them time to time, Joey. Give them a bit of advice. Tell them what they're doing wrong. Don't tell them what they're doing right, ever.
Very good relationship. Joey, the umpires.
Me and Ray.
Good.
Me and Ray's at Ray. We got on well.
Still catch up for coffees, I'm told.
Good Red Z lending stats there from both Daisy and Ethan. Red Z lending loans for the self-employed for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy out of the centre go. The Tigers are on fire all of a sudden. Graham, long ball to full forward. Revolt in front, won't mark. Fall of the ball, Castagna has it punched his way. Hand pass Dusty Martin. Gives it, don't argue. 40 out. Hooks it back from 40. Won't be a goal. It's across the face. Lynch off his hands through for a point. 7-5-47. Richmond, 10-8-68 the Giants. 19.5 third term, IJ Liga scoreboard.
Won't go away the Tigers. Ethan Meldrum, Choice Hotels around the grounds.
Early stages in the third term, scores level between Port Adelaide and the Western Bulldogs.
The Lockie Whitfield, the smooth mover, will do the kicking in. He's going to drive it to the wing where there's a big pack of players. They all stand tall. The bigs went up, the smalls stay down at ground level. Jack Graham wrapped up holding the ball. Didn't think he had Pryor, although the umpire said he did. And it's going to be Lloyd. And again, the Giants want to use the corridor. Tom Green, his numbers for Red Z Lending, the youngster.
Red Z Lending, 22 touches for Tom Green, 10 contested.
What's his career high, Ethan? We'll get that later because he might be on track for a career night, young Tom Green. He's having a beautiful night.
33, I think it is off the top of my head, Joey.
Oh, Daisy comes with all the stats. Cumming switches the ball wide to Buckley and they continue to transition. Riccardi right on the Toyota logo. He's going to wheel and go because he's got Himmelberg in a one-on-one. Bolter did well. That's his bread and butter, Daisy. Back there in defence. Gives it to Arts, and the kick was a beauty. And a foundation, and the Tigers are away.
Yeah, his hand pass to young Ralph Smith, and he's on the charge, the young man. Nice drilling drop punt onto the chest of Lynch, who marks forward of the wing. Long way from home, Big Tommy. Still an open forward line. Gets on with it now. He's gone to Rewald. Sandwiched in between 2 Giants. That's a ripper mark, 48 out on a 45-degree angle.
This bloke's numbers for Red Z, please. Ethan, is this his first kick for the night?
Jack Revolt will be his second kick for the night, but his only kick was ineffective.
And his second kick has gone straight onto the chest of Collier Dawkins. So he squared it inboard about 20 metres. And Collier Dawkins, on a very slight angle, will kick on his boot from 45 out.
Hold that line.
So he kicked his first career goal in the second term, this being just his third game for the Tigers. Runs in, steps up, lock it in. It's a beautiful kick. He's got a couple. The Tigers starting to encroach on this Giants lead. 21.5 third term. Richmond go to 8-5-53. 10-8-68 the Giants. Triple M IJ Liga scoreboard.
They're just hanging around, aren't they, boys? They just refuse to go away. Dusty Martin set them alight a couple of times. He's been the one. He's gone back through the midfield now. But just when you think you're kicking away on the Tigers, they never let you just get without grass. Last week probably being the exception to that. Joey, you asked for the career high, Ethan. I said 33. I think I might have been 3 off.
Yeah, he was 3 off. 30's the career high for Tom Green. The Tigers as well, they've flipped the ground ball around this term. 20-14 their way.
That's why they're so good. They always make adjustments. They threw Vlosten into the middle. Jack Graham's now in the middle.
Throwing forwards up into the stoppages as well, too, to get an extra number around, try and get on top in that facet.
And now they're trying to get them out the back. And they're back in this game in a big way. They're within 15 points. The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Big Nank gets over the top. Down to Collier Dawkins. The man who's kicked 2 goals this game. High ball inside 50. Giants are under pressure. Rioli's lurking. Whitfield had a slip. Young Ralph Smith over the top. Oh, they're feeling the pressure. Buntine just whacks the ball away from the area. Connor Iden with a nice pickup. Got it to Kelly. And they relieve the pressure for the time being. But it might come back in because Vlosten takes intercept mark on centre wing.
He has, Joey. Goes short and finds Graham. Little hand pass and they're away. Short kicks inside. Lynch in front of the pack, nearly not quite 15 out. Callan Ward's got a bit of work to do. Punched it out towards coming. Martin got in the way. Shrug one off. Hand pass Arts. Snap goal. Oh, here come the Tigers. Here come the Tigs. 9-5-59 Richmond. 10-8-68 the Giants. 23 and a half third term. Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
Just a really good passage of play. Contest ball everywhere. Richmond just winning the critical ball at the minute. And the bloke who keeps winning most of them, Dustin Martin. Couple of don't argues there, was front and centre, hunted the ball, chased down Ward, second effort, went after Green, won his own footy, but don't argue on Ward, brought Arts into the game, and he was good enough to finish. And the Giants, Baz, it's come alive.
It certainly has. Nothing better than the fans when they get around the Tigers, the Richmond fans, Joey.
Can't keep a good team down, Baz.
They can lift the roof.
You can't keep a good team down.
They don't mind it here at Marvel.
No.
Not right now, they don't.
You'd almost think it's an away game for them, the way they weren't happy to leave the MCG.
All right.
But they are back within 9 points. And they've got this game back on their terms. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Not going to come out of the centre bounce. The big Nank.
Oh, look at him.
Lifting his side.
Ooh, he's got that look.
He's got the two young rucks up against him, Briggs and Flynn. This time it's Briggs. Tapped to Rioli. Richmond have got the extra numbers around the stoppage. Giants have got the extra in defence now. So there's a lot of players around this ball and it's not going anywhere. And we'll have a third stoppage inside the centre circle. Harry Himmelberg gone into defence, the loose man. Leon Cameron's feeling the pressure in the box. Damien Hardwick and his coaches like what they're seeing this quarter, but it's Hopper again who wins the big clearance, drives the ball inside 50, but Asprey, the extra number back there for the Tigers, takes the mark, and they'll set up from the back half.
Yeah, and they're setting up for a big final term here, aren't they? 9 points now the lead to the Giants, as Richmond are coming big time now. Graham's got it at half back, little short kick outside defensive 50, will come back into Grimes. Ooh, that's just 15. Just 15. Richmond fans wanted 50 as Toby Green was bouncing around, perhaps off the mark. Kicks across to the back pocket of Loston. Goes short to Broad at half-back. What's been the difference, Days? What's happened in this game?
Just the way they've been able to shift the magnets around, get a plus behind the footy. They've also orchestrated some extra numbers around the ball. They've got on top around the footy, giving themselves some good looks and better looks going forward, but well set up from behind as well.
This play right here, they win the critical ball on the wing. It's Arts to Rioli, back to Arts through the middle. He had Tom Lynch, although he slipped over. But Richmond are getting numbers everywhere now. Baker, back to Collier Dawkins, who goes inside 50. Castagna! Taking the mark. They're just winning all the critical hard balls. And they are back within 9 points. And if Castagna kicks this, they'll be back within 3. It's that contest on the wing, isn't it, Daisy?
Yeah.
That's the one Richmond have made a living off. Winning that long kick to a contest and then swarming forward. And they did it again.
Probably for the first time this evening, we've seen them come with that big swarm of numbers. Players running corridor, players front and centre, and players running down the boundary as well. Good enough to find and choose the right option.
We'll let the Richmond crowd tell the story if Castagna can kick it from 45. It's gone right to the goal line. The Tiger faithful aren't sure. The goal umpire's not sure.
I believe it's a goal. Can we check that the ball had crossed the goal line before it was punched into the post?
Sure. Score review. Umpire's call is a goal. Please check.
Bit anticlimactic there, Baz. I wanted the crowd to roar, but nobody could tell. And the reason why is because it looks like it's gone 1 metre behind the line before it was touched. I think this will be called a goal. The umpire said it's a goal. They can't overturn that, Daisy, on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
That's a goal, Joey. Put it in the book.
So we'll wait for the roar this time.
Yes. We'll get it. Oh.
And they're back within 3 points. They've kicked 4 in a row, the Tigers. And just when you thought they were gone, they're all over this game. They're 10-5-65. Giants 10-8-68, 2 minutes to go in the third term. The Giants can't wait for the three-quarter time siren.
Oh, they're counting down the minutes, but we've seen it. We've thought it's been around the ball. Ethan, what are the stats telling you? Is that reflective?
It absolutely is. Red Z lending stats. Last 10 minutes of the game, Richmond 11 contested possessions to 6, 7 ground ball gets to 4, 3 clearances to 1. Liam Baker leading all comers this term in the midfield, 10 disposals.
Triple M Seabus super special comments. Daisy Thomas joined by Ethan Meldrum there with the Red Z lending stats. Don't forget, delivering consistent long-term returns for members. Seabus is for us all. If you're listening to Daisy, you'd be a big Foo Fighters fan because they're a ripper band and he's a ripper bloke. For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M rocks footy. Bounces good. Underneath it goes short for the Tigers. Dragged down in a tackle. In fact, it was Arts dragged down in a tackle. Spills out wide to Whitfield. Whitfield onto his left boot. Puts it on the head of Jesse Hogan. Asprey with him. Third man up was Toby Green. And he took the mark behind both players. He's on the outer side wing. Forward of that. Keeps the eyes low. He's gone for the leader inside in Hogan. Hogan got the arms chopped. He looked straight at the umpire and said, "What about that?" And the umpire said, "You're spot on, Jess." It was against Hooley. What do you think on the Harvey Norman days?
Well, I reckon the Tigers fan tell the story again, Baz. They're not happy, not a whole lot in that. But I reckon the GWS Giants, their footy club, they'll be happy. If they're Foo Fighters fans, they might have got the best of you.
So, Jesse from 50 just pulls the kick. He lands it on the point of the square, and look at the big man. Big Toby Nankervis. Drops back and takes a ripper mark.
There goes my hero.
So the big Nank, he's taken a number of those marks. He just kicks it as far as he can outside the defensive 50. A lot of numbers around this ball. This is the one the Tigers have been winning all quarter. They win it again through Mansell. Forward handball to Rioli. Well done, Lockie Ash. Ball goes out of bounds. Richmond fans are loving this one. They're loving seeing their side come back. They trailed by as much as 28 points to start this third term, and they're back within 3. 45 seconds left in the quarter. Oh, Nankervis just whacks Briggs in the back of the head. The Giants take the advantage. Hopper, Kelly, dribbles one inside 50, Grimes and Toby Green. Oh, it's a bit of a wrestling move. Yeah. And they're going to go on with it, the two boys. They love a bit of a wrestle, those two. As Taranto sits on top of Graham. Ward, back to Toby Green, got to his feet. Can they find a mark inside 50? It'll be as far as Jaden Shorts. And he'll steady with just 10 seconds left in the term.
And what a ripper term it's been. We've got a 3-point ball game. The Giants lead as we head to the final quarter here. Long kick back towards the wing. Nankervis stumped down to Graham. Out half back, siren goes. Oh, they're both having a crack, but that was a big quarter from Richmond. And they're back to within 3 points of the Giants. Round the ground, Heath, what's happening in Adelaide?
It's the Dogs by 12 points over Port Adelaide halfway through the third term.
10-8, 68 plays 10-5, 65. The Giants lead with Joey Montagna, Daisy Thomas, Ethan Meldrum and the great Mickey Roberts for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Macca's and footy. I'm loving it.
Bruce Springsteen. He's rocked stadiums.
Give me some slack.
And stereos across the globe. So it's only deserving he gets his own show on Triple M without having to hand out icy cold cans of Coke for 3 years first. From his home to yours,
I want to thank you for spending this time with me.
Bruce Springsteen and E Street Radio.
This one goes out to all the folks we love.
Tonight after the footy on Triple M.
Never miss a single goal with McDelivery. Get all your Macca's favourites from Big Macs to the iconic fries, all delivered to your door. Check the Macca's website for your delivery partner.
Steel Solutions, Houston speaking.
Houston, we have a problem.
Okay, what's happened?
I need some steel cut in different lengths and sizes, and I need it now to finish off this job.
Not a problem, mate. You can pick it up or have it delivered. And if you order $300 or more, we'll deliver it for free anywhere up to 40 k's from the city.
Houston, we don't have a problem anymore.
Well, that's kind of why they call us Steel Solutions.
Steel Solutions. The steel you need when you need it. Sunshine, Bayswater and Springvale. steelsolutions.com.au.
There's no place like me. There's no place like me. There's no place like me for your next home loan. built to help Aussies live the dream of owning their own home. And 25 years later, we've still got low-rate home loans to get you home sooner. Head to mebank.com.au today. Credit criteria applies.
I'm finance journalist and commentator David Koch. From managing your debts to growing your income and protecting the assets you have, I'm on a mission to help you fulfil your financial dreams with my podcast series, Koch's Easy Steps to Financial Success. Download the new Listener app now and listen for free. Brought to you by Business NBN. Access to Business NBN Fibre has changed for good.
Listener.
Are you on the go? Do you want to stay on at work, on all day, on after work? Be on in mind and body. Stay on with Power Pollen. Energy all day, every day. No gluten, no added sugar, no caffeine. Pure, clean, natural vegetable superfood potentiated for quick release. Get 3 months supply for $69.95 plus delivery with a bonus pack of honey pollen soap. Try it, no risk. There's a money-back guarantee. Powerpollen.com.au.
New Dan Murphy's catalogue is out now. Find unbeatable offers on a range of drinks, like a bottle of Cat Amongst the Pigeons Fat Cat Chardonnay for just $17 each for My Dan's members. Shop more unbeatable catalogue offers in-store or on the Dan Murphy's app today. Choose to drink wise. Conditions apply. Offer ends Wednesday, May 26.
You know what I don't like about the tile importer, Chops?
Ruff ruff?
It's the name. It makes you think they only import tiles, which is rubbish, because they sell all building supplies.
Ruff!
They have everything. Treated pine, decking, flooring, cement sheets, lighting boards, and so much more.
Ruff!
I can't believe how cheap the tile importer is, Chops.
Ruff ruff!
Hey, Chops, should we take Mrs. Woody to check out the new display centre?
Ruff! Ruff!
17 Natalia Avenue, Oakley South. Tileimporter.com.au.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Choice Hotels. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com.
3/4 time at Marvel Stadium. Ripping game. Richmond versus the Giants. The Giants kicked an early goal in that third quarter to go out to a 28-point lead. Richmond have fought back with the next 4 and they've got a 3-point ball game. The Giants lead 10-8-68. Richmond 10-5-65. Ethan Meldrum around the grounds first. What's happening in Adelaide?
It's the Dogs by 19 points over Port Adelaide. Aaron Norton just kicking a goal and taking a genuine pack mark, 15 out.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments tonight. Daisy Thomas. Days, that was a good quarter of footy.
Yeah, it was if you're a Tigers fan. Their ability, the coach's box first, tip your hat to them. Came out after the break, moved the magnets, sent Boulder back, which was good. They tried the experiment, which you don't mind, but you don't want to see someone just hung out there for the game. His best position, centre-half back across that back line. He went back, had a real influence. And Vlosten, they needed some big bodies around the ball. They're getting beat up. Tom Green's been really good in there. Cal Ward as well. So they just sort of moved him in there. They got the game, but there was just a critical contest throughout that quarter that they won. Dusty Martin was in everything and shaping up to be a red-hot last quarter.
Seabus delivering consistent long-term returns for members. Seabus for us all. Triple M Red Z Lending stats. Red Z Lending loans for the self-employed. Heath, what have you got?
Well, the Tigers flipped the ground ball on its head in the third term, 27-19 they led. They trailed the inside 50s for the term, 9-13, but they turned it into 7 shots on goal. GWS just the 4 from their 13 entries. The leading ball winners so far, Jacob Hopper has 29 for the Giants, Tim Taranto, Josh Kelly 26 and 24 respectively. For Richmond, Dusty has 23 touches, Short and Baker 22 apiece.
Well, Bob Jane T-Marts, of course, SUV 4x4 flash sale ends this weekend. Up to 20% off alloy and steel wheels. BobJane.com.au. They're good people. Mickey Roberts, so are you.
Harry Perryman off with a hamstring. He's gone for tonight. So unfortunately, he's the back stalls for the Giants. Jake Arts is the one. He's going to start on the pine as well. Came off in the blood rule with the knee, but also really disappointed with his ankle. So they've had to work on him for almost the entire game. And Baz, the noise of affirmation, it's getting louder and louder. They love coming here. The mighty roar. Here they come.
Come on, Joey. Kick us.
Here they come. Big final term here at Marvel Stadium. Tigers trail by 3. Toby Green's gone into the centre bounce for McDonald's and Ream. Hot water. Triple M rocks footy. Big Flynn gets over the top of Nan Curvis. Hopper, disposal number 30. Goes to half forward on McIntosh with courage. But there was a free kick before that to Tim Taranto. He gave the handball to Toby Green. Pops it inside 50. The big Nanks there. Couldn't take the mark. Ground ball. Nankervis. Little fumble. Flynn out to Bobby Hill, around the body, but Bolter got back into the defensive goal square, took the mark, although the kick was dangerous and it was chopped off by O'Halloran. And he'll have a shot. He's thinking about passing, but he's only 40 metres out, a couple of metres in from the boundary line. He's on the right side for a right footer to be able to run out, open up the angle and kick an important goal for the Giants.
Oh, yeah.
Xavier O'Halloran, a quiet night for the young man, but he's already kicked one goal this game. Crosses the 50-metre line. Starts at left point post and it stays there through from behind. First score opening term. Giants lead by 4 points, 69-65. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
So Vlosten from full back. 15-metre ball into the back pocket to Short. Kicks long to the outside wing. He missed the target. He kicked it straight to Cumming. Giants can come again. Little short ball to Toby Green. Marks on forward 50. He got sort of tackled late. Looked at the umpire for 50. Said no. So 45-degree angle. Toby Green walks back with purpose, Stace.
He certainly does. He's taking the responsibility. I'm not sure if he's got this in Baz. He might have to do the big run around late and try and get some extra metres. He did that once before, kicked it straight into the man on the mark. Probably about the time I'd be young the Torp, I would have thought, Baz.
The Torp.
Oh, you want to lift the lid on this place, yes. Baz. That's what you do. You give the fans what they pay their money for.
Correct, and you did that every game, Dave. Toby Green. Oh, he's kicked it into the man on the mark. He tried to encroach as quick as he could. Or he didn't. Just off the side of the boot or off the instep because the mark's been taken 20 out directly in front of the Giants and Hopper's got it. So Green's kick off the instep of the boot and Hopper has marked 20 out on a slight angle. Steps back. Another opportunity presents early for the Giants. They lead by 4 points. 2.5 final term. Hopper steps up and squeezes it home. The Giants draw first blood in the final term. And they go to 11-9, 75. 10 points up now over Richmond, 10-5, 65. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. Toby Green got really close to the man on the mark. We saw it on the Harvey Norman replay. Didn't actually kick it into the man on the mark, which was a pretty good effort because he was only about half a metre away from him when he struck his foot. The umpire looked like he called play on as well, but must have been because he ran a little bit of an arc and it fell fortuitously in the arms of Hopper. And he was good enough to go back and kick it. And a perfect start for the Giants. Again, a little question asked of the champs now. Can they respond?
Yeah, they've kicked the first goal of each quarter, the GWS Giants. And it's been up to the Tigers to respond. Can they do it again? He's putting together a hell of a night, Jacob Hopper. 31 disposals and a goal now. 17 contested. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. They're out to a 10-point lead. Beautiful bounce. Nankervis and Flynn. Taranto back in the middle. Hard footy to be won. Hopper. Nankervis. It's not going to go anywhere. Of course, Ream Hot Water. Ask your plumber to install the Ream if you need some hot water. As we get into winter, steady, hot and strong.
Yep.
It's the Giants by 10 points. Still in the middle of Marvel. Not going anywhere. We're going to get another stoppage. A lot of numbers around this footy.
I asked my plumber to install the Ream, Joey. He said that was very smart, Barry, and that's not an expression that's said to me a lot, Daz.
Could imagine.
Ball thrown in the air. Going to work his way through. Was Nankervis. He's wrapped up in a tackle, stands in it. We're still right in the centre of Marvel Stadium. Players have flooded in off the square. Nankervis tries to grab it out of the ruck. Kicked off the ground by Taranto. Then Bobby Hill kicks it off the ground. A centre half forward. Grimes in front. In front of Hogan. Hogan's kicked 4 tonight. All in the second term. He exploded. In 3 minutes he had 3. And Grimes has taken this mark a true centre half back for Richmond. They trail by 10 points. He plays on and kicks to the broadcast wing.
It's a long, high ball. They're going to fly from everywhere. Coming with the fist. But this is the footy the Tigers have been winning all second half. Baker kicks it wide, looking for Rewalt. He led Buckley to the football, but the boundary beat them both. And it crosses the junction of the 50-metre line on the boundary line. 10-point lead to the Giants. They're out by as much as 28 early in the third quarter. Half forward for the Tigers. Quickly around the grounds, Ethan, Choice Hotels.
It's the Dogs by 19 points over Port Adelaide. 3 minutes left in the third term.
Ball thrown in. Collier Dawkins wraps up Hopper.
Release, guys. Thanks, Jacob.
Dusty Martin is lurking around this stoppage. So is Baker and Graham. Dusty's on his own, which is always dangerous. And instead of taking possession, he tapped it back to Baker, who screws it around the body, into the pocket. One-on-one, Nation, Connor Iden. Tiger fans there thought maybe it was a free kick to Nash. None forthcoming, the ball will be thrown in. 25 around from the Tigers' goal. They trail by 10 points.
So Richmond continue to search. Been here for 3 separate stoppages now. Boundary throw-in. Here they go. Who can get the clearance? Lynch was in the front. Hopper at the front, though, for the Giants. Little hand pass off to Callan Ward. Kicks to the wing. Himmelberger, big fly. Went one hand, couldn't mark. Bruin wraps up a Tiger in a tackle. And the Tiger at the bottom of the pack's going to get pinged for not getting it out. And that was Collier Dawkins. He's filthy. And Bruin with a footy. So he looks backwards, then looks to the wing. The Giant has been called to play on. And then he sort of ran and went to kick it and just dropped the foot. He picked it up again, hand pass to Whitfield. It's a turnover. He's tackled and lost it. Comes out wide for the Tigers. Opportunity for Nash. Martin was with him. Martin picks it up behind Nash. Little low drilling ball inside. It's straight to Bruin. So a rare miscarriage of the footy from Dusty Martin.
And he breathed a sigh of relief, Tanner Bruin, I reckon. He made a meal of it a couple of moments ago, took the mark, and this time he was always going to play it safe, wasn't he, Daisy?
Yes.
He just kicked the next ball long, and he kicked it long, and it goes out of bounds in front interchange gates. As we have a little bit of a blood rule, we'll see if we can get down to Robbo to find out who that is. Robbo, Bob Jane Seamarts, can you see who it is?
Big Toby Nankervis. Like, he plays angry, this bloke, but he's got one himself. Right across the bridge of the nose.
You'd think he just licked that blood and keep playing.
He loves it. Tastes it, eats it on the pine.
So Marlon Pickett's had to have a stint in the ruck. Liam Baker, he's been good as a midfielder tonight. Handball to Arts. He runs through the wing from the Toyota logo. High ball to about 30 out. They fly from everywhere, standing his ground. Taking a fantastic mark was young Jack Buckley.
Jeez, he's gone all right on Big Jack, hasn't he? Really?
Yeah, both of the young kids down there, Taylor and Jack Buckley, have been really good on the stars for Richmond in Rewalt and Lynch.
What are their numbers, Rewalt and Lynch, tonight, Ethan Meldrum?
Tom Lynch, 6 disposals, 1 goal, 2. Jack Rewalt, 4 disposals, yet to hit the scoreboard.
Brooklyn Reds had landing stats there, just backing up Daisy's comment as Iden kicks it wide on the boundary line, punched out of bounds.
Yeah, it just feels like throughout this game, the GWS have scored heavily from stoppages, whereas Richmond, they play their game from turnovers. Does the Red Z tell you that as well, Ethan?
Yeah, it certainly does. GWS leading scores from stoppages 6 goals to 1, but Richmond leading turnovers 9 goals to 4.
Boundary throw-in on the wing. Taranto runs into a tackler, loses the footy. Arts put his head over it, punched it out towards Baker. Baker's kicks off the side of the boot as he tried to drive it long. Inside forward 50 for the Tigers. It went out on the full. And that man again, young man, Buckley, will bring it back in.
It is how both teams score. That is their motto. That's how the Giants are a strong score from stoppage team, and we know the Tigers are the best turnover team. So we've seen it again tonight. And it's going to be a matter of which style can hold out here in this game, because it's still the Giants by 10 points. They go along to Himmelberg, who got a nice little ride and took a nice contested mark. Just back of the wing, broadcast side at Marvel. He wants to get the ball moving, so he goes forward down the line. Hogan's got a couple to beat, so he did it pretty well in the end. He was able just to get the ball to ground and get it out of bounds. Centre wing.
Matt, Tom, thanks.
Broadcast side of Marvel. Ethan, official attendance tonight, you thought about 23,000. How'd you go?
Yeah, I was way off. 18,798 here tonight.
It was the drive, Joey. They wouldn't make it.
So from the stoppage, Jake Arts has been important since going into the midfield. High kick, won't go 15. Lynch stands under it. He's wrapped up by a couple of GWS players, and we'll have another stoppage. So we're just about to tick into 10 minutes played in this final term. There's only been 1 goal kicked to Hopper, and it's the Giants leading by 10 points.
Yeah, she's tight now. Flynn taps it down towards Hopper. Slapped out of his hands by Baker. Hand pass to Pickett. Oh, he weaves a bit of magic in traffic. Now he can drive a ball inside. Where's Jack? Rewalt will fly in amongst 3 Giants. Punch to the back, trying to work his way through his Mansell. Ball on the deck, still 20 metres from Richmond's goal. Shove it out the back of the pack. Who's there on the fat side? Buckley does well. Punts it out towards Riccardi. Kick partially smothered. Graham's going to track it back for the Tigers. Grabs it on forward 50. Looks inboard, spots Baker. He's got him. Baker marks, but he's still 50 out. Plays on now, wheels around, slips over as he kicked it. It'll land in the pocket. Big fly from Revolt off his hands and through for a point. Tigers get to within 9 points of the Giants. 10.5 final term. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
Ethan, can I get Liam Baker and Jake Arts' numbers, please? They've had some big nights, I reckon.
Well, Jake Arts, 12 disposals, 2 already in this term, but Liam Baker, 28 disposals, which is a career high, 6 in this term already.
Yeah, playing as a midfielder tonight, Liam Baker. We know he's made his name as a defender. He's been on the wing. He played forward a couple of weeks ago, and tonight they've needed him on ball. And the kick in from the Giants goes towards half-back. A lot of players around this footy. Tanner Bruin, the young man, did nicely. Shoveled it out to the ruckman who'll get the free kick. Gee, the Richmond fans are vocal. Aren't they loud under the roof, Baz?
Yes.
They're usually at the Coliseum at the MCG, but tonight they're under the roof.
Extra frustration. They're still mad, Joey. They didn't want to drive.
Yeah.
It's 6 kilometres. They're spilling.
Filthy.
That's about 40 cents in petrol.
Joey, they are filthy.
So Lloyd at half-back. Oh, well done, McIntosh.
Oh, I like that.
Listen to that.
Yeah.
How good are the Tiger fans when they're up and about? And it goes out of bounds. 9-point lead to the GWS Giants. 12 minutes left on the game clock.
Best roar in the game. And the Tiger fans are up and about. 3/4 time, Ethan, Adelaide.
Yeah, it certainly is. Dogs by 19 points over the Power.
Boundary throw-in, kick out of the pack the Giants' way. Long ball towards half-forward, bouncing footy. Then Jesse Hogan give the look-away hand past the Hill. Went without it, but Toby Green was there. He's dangerous. Kicks in the path of Hill, and he's got him. Marks deep forward pocket. About 20, about 30 metres out. About 8 metres inside the boundary line. Chips it back inboard, and Lloyd has marked 45 out on a 45-degree angle. You like that,
Yeah,
Joey?
I like it. Lloyd's a beautiful kick from this range.
Yeah, I tell you what, the chance to cover yourself in glory from the pocket with the check side. I think I would have been passing it backwards.
You get a real insight into
He has a
Daisy's
different
mindset.
angle. Yeah. He says, oh, no, I wouldn't
Good
have done
exponent of the check side I was though, Joey.
You were
Very
you were the
good.
best
Very
check side
good.
kicker in the comp.
Yeah. And a torpedo.
What else do you want, Baz?
Yeah, everything. Want to hear about it all. Lloyd from 52. Long drop punt, real long on the line. The goal umpire signals a goal. A goal to the Giants. And can they keep going on? 13 minutes final term, 12-9-81. Other Giants, 10-6-66 Richmond. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels, choicehotels.com.
Oh, a big-time goal that was, and it just gives them a little bit of breathing space. We know, though, the Tigers will keep coming. Not only are they a great team at scoring from turnover, they're the best red time team of the last 4 or 5 seasons as well. And the Tiger fans, well, there's a bit of a hush going across the ground. Yep, no excuse for not driving here or getting the train, Baz. It's 2 stops. You get on at Richmond, you go through Flinders Street, you get off at Southern Cross. So 19,000 of them, not good enough.
How many do you reckon there would have been if it was at the MCG?
Give me 60.
Lloyd, that was right in his wheelhouse. And they get it back out to a 15-point lead. The McDonald's and Ream hot water. Triple M Rocks footy. Tom Green, Dusty in the centre bounce, wins the clearance, kicks the ball towards his mate Jack Rewalt. Well done, Jack Buckley. Got a fist in, and then the Giants get numbers back there. He's dominated him all night, and then there's been a holding the ball decision against young Mansell, who's now gone forward. That's going to rile up the Tigers fans, and it's going to be Matt Buntine in the back pocket. Just over 10 minutes left in this one. The kick's going to go in the Nankervis direction. Stood in front. Toby Green did enough to bring it to ground. And then he just gets boot the ball. Toby Green, the big ruckman, brings up to stand his ground. Took a nice mark. There's nobody inside forward 50, so he's going to go laterally to Jesse Hogan. And he's just going to allow his forwards to get inside 50. Allow his defenders to set up behind the ball. And he's going to square it into the corridor. Connor Iden. And he's going to transition play. And it's in the right hands because it's in Lockie Whitfield's hands. As Lloyd on a short lead goes to him. Still 80 out.
So Lloyd 80 out. Goes back with a footy. He stands and runs in now. Delivers a long, high drop punt to a massive pack. Himmelberg, a big fly. Goes to the front of the pack. Tigers there in numbers with the Giants. Got about 15 around the footy. The umpire will ball it up. 35 from the Giants' goal. Real dangerous stuff now here for Richmond.
Yeah, it is, and they've been pretty good from forward 50 stoppages too tonight, the Giants have, so look for the players getting on the move. Toby Green just around this one as well.
Yeah, and Josh Kelly. The hit goes only as far as Collier Dawkins, although that handball's dangerous. Hopper, he's already kicked one. He's had a big night. Around the body, into the pockets, out of bounds on the full. So Richmond will have to go the full length. It's with Dylan Grimes up against the right-hand point post. They trail by 15 points, and time is slowly starting to become the enemy, Baz.
Certainly is, Joey. 8.5 minutes of game time on the clock. Grimes, a long drop punt to the outer side wing. Revolt's got a couple to beat again, won't do so. Buntine caught one across the shoulder, and he'll get the free kick against Jack, who's had a frustrating night, Ethan.
Yeah, Red Z leading stats, 4 disposals for Jack Riot, lowest of any Richmond player.
Wasn't last week his career low? With 4 disposals?
Career low.
So Buntine stands on the wing, outer side of the ground, can send the Giants forward again. They lead by 15 points. Long ball to Hogan in front of the pack. He's kicked 4. Didn't mark. Richmond behind the pack in numbers. Spills out the back and a short kick across goal. And running with a fly to the footy is short. And he marks for the Tigers deep in the back pocket. Called to play on. Runs around. Little low ball to Bashahuli. Game 200. The ball floated over his head. Wasn't sure where to go. So he let it bounce, and coming came the other way. He's tackled by Hooley and dragged into the ground with Rioli. And the umpire will ball it up right next to the boundary line, halfway between wing and half forward for the Giants.
Tigers trail by 15 points. They've trailed almost the whole game, except for a little period in that first quarter. Hooley off half-back, gave it to Marlon Pickett. He's going to go to a one-on-one. Taylor and Lynch. Taylor's won that battle all night. Lynch works him under the footy. If the ball will sit, he can have a shot from 40. Goes for home and misses. Sam Taylor filthy with himself. He's had a good night. Lynch had an opportunity. He's had a couple, and he missed it to the near side. And they trail by 14 points, the Tigers. 67-81. 8 minutes 27 left on the game clock.
Coming at full back, real short, low drilling ball, 20 metres to Callan Ward. Have you seen his game tonight, Dace?
Yeah, he's been fantastic, Baz. Just his ability to put his head over it, bring others into the game. He's hard as a cat's head, I think is the expression. Mickey Roberts has got a couple. I think he goes with duck's knees and things like that.
Yes.
But, he's a hard nut, and we love watching him go about it.
His short kick to Hopper was fantastic, and he kicks long to the outer side wing, but Broad will mark for Richmond. Can they go again? Just finding it hard to find targets inside forward 50. Short kick to Asprey. Goes wide with a hand pass to McIntosh. Now a kick back inside. Rewald in front, won't mark. For the ball, Dusty Martin lurks. Bounces back to Rewald. Little snap from 20. He's got it, Jack. He's got it. Works his way into the game late. 18 and a half final term. Kicks his first goal, and Richmond are back in business. 11-7-73 the Tigers. 12-9-81 the Giants. And that's on the Choice Hotel scoreboard.
Yeah, we just got to look up into the GWS coaches box on the Harvey Norman replay. Leon Cameron up there, and we'll just see what his footy side has learnt from last week. We're in front for a lot of that game as well. Essendon started to come. It looked like they were going to overrun them. Good enough to hang on. So I'm sure throughout the week you do the report, the match review process, and you go through it, see what they have learned, and if they can put those lessons into play. But we know Richmond, they will keep coming. And as I said, Baz, they're the best red time team in the competition, so look out.
The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Umpire back in the middle. Nice bounce. Flynn and Nankervis. Callum Ward. Important centre clearance. Inside 50 for the Giants. Loose ball. Toby Green's first to it. Went to ground. Broad. O'Halloran. Strong in the clinches. Umpire's going to be forced up. Robbo, Bob Jane T-Marts, what are you seeing from down there?
Yeah, Kieran Briggs cramping big time, running that out. And Daisy, it's as hard as goat's knees.
flat as a duck's foot?
Yep, flat as a duck's foot and hard as goat's knees, you idiot.
Callie wins the clearance, high ball, top of the square. Tanner Bruin's lurking. Can the young man snap across the body? He can, but not far enough. Through for one behind. 9-point lead to the Giants. We've ticked into time on. And, of course, that was Robbo, Triple M, the Bob Jane T-Marts, Robbo down there.
Here's a start. There's Vlosten at half-back for Richmond. Kicks to the wing. Rewald flies, won't mark. Full of the ball. Hopper for the Giants did real well in the clinches. Got smashed. Hand pass to Ash. He runs to 50. Long ball won't be a goal. Dropping back Asprey, the only player there. Marks in the last line of defence for Richmond. Kicks into the back pocket to McIntosh. Richmond fans saying, go, 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 run, run, run. Kicks to the outer side wing to Rioli. Hand pass off to Graham. Another hand pass further forward. Another one to Hurley. Hurley grabbed it, then he lost it. It bounced off his knee. Back to Big Flynn. Hurley lays the tackle. Footy spill. Kicks back inside Collier Dawkins. Long ball to full forward. Rewald up. Punch to the back. Who's home? Oh, Martin off the ground. He's running to the goal umpire. He's smashed into the deck. The goal umpire's been smashed into the turf by Dusty Martin.
Yeah, we're checking. I believe it's a goal. Yeah. We'll please make sure it was kicked before it was fully over.
Sure. Score review. Umpire's call is a goal. Please check.
Going off too. Yeah.
Martin off the ground. The umpire's calls a goal. What do you think, Days? Harvey Norman replay.
Yeah, I don't reckon the full ball is over the line. I'm going to call it a goal.
Hop on, mate.
Critical call.
He's on his way. We'll take our time.
9 points the Giants lead before this decision. And they are taking their time.
Luke Evans will have to come on and signal to go.
Dusty Martin questioning the umpire again. Harvey Norman replay again. This is a critical call. 22 minutes final term.
Can you just stop the physio?
Baz, I think they're going to get the emergency umpire out to call the goal if it does, because he's got a sore shoulder, the goal umpire. He got hit so hard.
The goal umpire, who bounced up pretty well, Days, to give him credit.
I'm not messing about. There's an emergency goal umpire making his way onto the ground, if you can believe that.
You don't see this very often, Dave.
Oh, boy.
Well, he's got a sore shoulder. He won't be able to wave the flag.
He won't. He's going off.
You got one job.
Yeah, totally accidental.
It was a big hit. It was a big hit.
Yeah.
Dusty Martin, some of the biggest players in the AFL can't handle a Dusty Martin shirt front.
So we're still waiting for the call. Here it comes. Crucial call. This is critical. It is a goal. It's all happening at Marvel. Goal umpire's being substituted. A long review of a goal is a goal, and Richmond are back to within 3 points. Dusty's got his fourth. 12-7-79 Richmond. 12-10-82 the Giants. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard. Well, it's tough to keep up, Days.
No, it is. There's plenty happening. I told you they're the best red time team, Baz. But the poor umpire, his shoulder looks cooked. He tried to warm it up. He did a few little cricket warm-ups. We'll go down to Bob Jane teammates. Mickey Roberts, give it to us.
The goal umpire is getting a standing ovation from the Tiger fans. He's popped his shoulder. His wing is hanging down. He is 5'6". He's a rover, replaced by a bloke who's 7'2", the ruckman. Emergency umpire. I've never seen it before. Unreal.
As he popped his shoulder,
he's popped it.
He called it a goal for the Tigers. That's why they're applauding him.
And it's game on here at Marvel Stadium for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. It's come to life. The Tigers are within 3 points, and they're going to get a free kick out of the centre. And it's going to go to Collier Dawkins, the young man who's had a pretty good night. And he's going to wheel and just kick it in the Tom Lynch direction. Couldn't take the mark. Plenty of Tigers at ground level. Basher Hawley had a couple of moments he wanted to forget. Dusty's had plenty of good moments. And the ball's out of bounds. What are Dusty's numbers, Ethan, for Red Z Lending?
Red Z Lending stats, 26 disposals to Dustin Martin, as well as the 4 goals. Richmond tonight in red time, 7 goals to 3 days.
I reckon Dusty's got one more moment left in him. The boundary throw-in. Tom Lynch takes it, grabs it out of the ruck, and he's wrapped up. Just wait for one more Dusty moment, Baz. You can call it. Here you go, mate.
You've called it already, Joey. Here it comes. Tapped down by Lynch. There's Hurley, bottom of the pack. Rewald's got it. Graham's got it. Hand pass Lynch. Little snap from the pocket. He's missed. He's missed. And the emergency goal umpire, who's fresh.
He's up and about.
Really?
I'll tell you what, Baz, he's big too.
He's massive. He's slammed the one arm down with confidence. 12-8-80 Richmond, 12-10-82 the Giants. 5:31 left on the game clock. 25 final term. Choice Hotel scoreboard.
There's still plenty of time left on the game clock. The Giants need to kick another goal, you'd think. The mark, intercept mark taken by Grimes. Gave the handball quickly. Tigers put themselves under unnecessary pressure. The Giants with their handball. Although again, Richmond have lifted. Grimes another intercept, and then he was held after he handballed it. So he's going to get the free kick. Point of the square. Half forward. Tom Lynch is making his way to the goal square. Jack Rewalt's getting deep. Nankervis is working all the way back to the top of the goal square as well. Well, there's been a clash of heads behind the play. Tom Lynch and Sam Taylor are down. The ball will go in the Jack Rewalt direction. Where are the Crummers? It's Dusty lurking. Dusty at ground level. Dusty picks it up. Dusty with a snap. He's not going to get the journey. He was slung as he kicked it into the pocket. Tom Lynch keeps it in. No, he can't. And the Giants are happy to see it out of bounds. 4:40 left on the clock. Giants lead by 2 points. Richmond have kicked the last two, and they're coming hard.
Oh, it's exciting stuff here at Marvel. Round the grounds quickly. What's happening in Adelaide?
14 minutes left in the final term. The Dogs by 14 points.
Briggs out of the ruck. His kick smothered. Nations there for Richmond. They're on forward 50. Young Ralph Smith goes at it. Punts it out the back towards Short. Hand pass over the top towards Graham. Another one, Rioli. Short ball to Ralph Smith. Called the play on. Not long enough to mark. It's going to be out of bounds. He took the mark. The young man then ran out of bounds. The umpire said it wasn't long enough to kick. So it's a boundary throw in right on the forward 50 arc for the Tigers.
Yeah, went about 3 metres that kick, Baz. It was the right call. So it's thrown in 50 metres around from the Richmond goal. They trail by 2 points. They haven't led since the first quarter. Lloyd, Whitfield, Ward just happy to get boot the ball. Clears the area. Fist from Noah Bolter. And it'll go back out of bounds. Another good game going on the Adelaide Oval, Ethan. Choice Hotels around the grounds.
Yeah, the Power have just kicked a goal through Charlie Dixon. They trail by 8 points over the Western Bulldogs.
How long left in that one?
13 and a half minutes.
Just over 4 minutes left in this one. Giants lead by 2. Nankervis back onto the ground after that blood rule. Jake Arts has had a good second half. Liam Baker's just had a good game. Goes towards Tom Lynch. Oh, well done, Sam Taylor. Another fist. Castagna tackled. Lloyd under pressure. Just squeezes, boots the ball. And it finds Xavier O'Halloran. Top of the 50 for the Richmond Tigers. And they steady the Giants. 3:45 left on the clock.
Called to play on. O'Halloran will drop it here on the wing, close to the boundary line. Himmelberg, a big fly. Punch to the front of the pack. Broad was there. Sends Richmond back inside. Rewalt's got a fly. Shove the pack. Did he take the mark? Long hand pass over the top to Castagna. Rioli's there too. Picks it up. Little snap. It's the goal. Rioli kicks the goal and Richmond have hit the front. The Tigers will not be denied at Marvel Stadium. Tigers up by 4 points, 28 final term. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard, and Daisy, we've got 3 minutes 22 left on the clock.
Oh, we certainly do, Baz, and this has turned into an absolute gem of the game. Jack Rewalt's had some good moments late, just smashed a handball to no man's land. Lockie Whitfield got the unkindness of bouncers, but speaking of bouncers, there was Dan Rioli, right place, right time.
Red Z Lending stats, Richmond have only been in front for 1:45 prior to that goal. Last 10 minutes, 41 disposals to 21. Pressure factor of 241. The AFL average 179.
No, 241.
241.
Does that include the hit on the umpire?
Oh, it'll be over in the thousands, I reckon, if you include that one.
So for McDonald's and Ream, hot water, 3 minutes 20 left. The Giants now have to attack. They run off the back of the square. They win the clearance. Whitfield got decked. He's down behind play. Tigers are swarming the Giants. And it takes a strong Callum Ward tackle to force a stoppage.
It's a lot of work, isn't it, to get back? But there's still a lifetime left in the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of time. 3 minutes is a genuine lifetime. You're right, Baz.
The stoppages are where the Giants have to get back on top. McIntosh, he wins the ball. Just wobbles one towards half forward. Lockie Ash with some wheels. Did it nicely. Used the chain of handballs. Lloyd to Kelly, who just kicks the ball towards Hogan and Bolter. That was poor by Kelly. He had a little bit more time. But the perceived pressure of the Richmond, as you just said, Ethan, it's off the charts. Brian Taylor would be loving the pressure gauge in this last quarter by the Tigers.
Yes.
And they lead by 4 points with 2:30 left.
Long kick to half forward for Richmond. Front and square was Baker. Spun out of trouble. Kicks them inside and lands short. Punch back outside. Footy's on the deck. Callan Ward puts his head over it. Hand pass Whitfield in the centre. Back to Ward. He's got Tigers running at him everywhere. Hand pass Hopper. Enormous pressure from Graham. Footy picked up by Baker. Hand pass Hurley. 49 out. Picked up by Ward, but ripping mark taken by Taylor. That full back, you love that day.
Oh, brilliant. Came off his man. Lynch was out. Put his head over it. Copped his due whack. Took the mark. Big, big play.
The Giants are absolutely out on their feet. It's like two boxers and the Giants are just throwing punches for 11 and a half rounds. And they're out on their feet and they are just hanging in. And it's going to be thrown in right on centre wing. Outer side Marvel Stadium. 1:58 on the clock. The Tigers somehow lead by 4 points. Nankervis grabs it out of the ruck. Gives it to Marlon Pickett. Puts on some fancy footwork. Drives it back inside 50. Again, Taylor and Buckley. They've been under pressure all last quarter. Can they hold up one more time? Buckley, terrific tackle on Lynch. And then Connor Iden wins a quick kick. Big ball to be won in the middle of the ground. Hogan there, short. The handball missed the mark. Kelly again just throws it on the boot. How will it sit? Hopper's had an enormous night. McIntosh a big last quarter. Broad did well, ducked under the tackle. Wobbles the ball inside 50. Bunt time, doesn't bounce for him. Rioli, fend off. Tigers got numbers out everywhere. Inboard to Dusty. Here we go, Baz. Dusty to seal it. The goal number 5. He misses. He misses with 1:06 on the clock. The Tigers lead by 5 points.
Oh.
But this is where you want it. A kick in.
They're going up the guts.
They're going to go straight up the guts. The whole world knows where this is going. Call it for us, Baz.
Iden plays on. Straight up the ground with a kick. Himmelberg's in front of a huge pack. Punched out of his hands. Bounces back to forward 50 for Richmond. Bottom of the pack, Baker's been good. Hand pass, it comes back to him. Missed him. Callan Ward sweeps on it. Got it to Buckley. Here go the Giants. Hand pass to Cumming. Hand pass Himmelberg. Hand pass Bobby Hill. Kick inside. One-on-one full forward. Toby Green goes to ground. In comes Gloston. Clears from the back.
Deliberate.
Bouncing footy will go out of bounds. The umpire says deliberate.
Yes.
Deliberate, Joey.
Tony Deliberatore. Picked him.
We've got 33 seconds on the clock. O'Halloran's bringing it in, Joey, from 70 out.
He's going to wheel and go to the pocket. Who wants to be the hero? The ball gets to the back. It's going to be... Oh, it's going to be Buckley, was it? It was Taranto, in fact. It got to the back. He tried to dribble it through. And that was a goalkeeper's save from Dylan Grimes. And all the Tigers have to do is find the mark. And you'd think their experience will do it. Of course they do. He goes into the pocket of Loston. And the Giants, it's going to be heartbreaking. There's 14 seconds to go. They need to win this ball and go back in. Jack Rewalt just punches it to the boundary line. That's why they're so good, the Tigers. They are too good, the Richmond Footy Club. Just when they look down and out. They were pummeled by the Cats last week. They were under all sorts of pressure by the Giants tonight, yet somehow, missing all their superstars in the midfield, they find a way to win the game. This Richmond Footy Club never ceased to amaze. From 28 points down, they come back to win it by 4.
See us with a grin, risking head and shin. If we're behind, then never mind, we'll fight and win for from Tigerland. We never weaken till the final siren's gone. Like the tiger of old, we're strong and we're bold, for we're from Tigerland. We're from Tigerland.
Well, the roof was lifted off in that final term. Richmond win it by 4 points. It was the Giants leading by 3 points at three-quarter time. The Tigers had a big third quarter, 4 goals to 1. The Giants led this game by 21 points at halftime, 28 points early into that third quarter, and Richmond get the job done. 13-9-87 to 12-11-83. Tigers by 4 points. Ripping game, Dave.
Oh, unbelievable game of footy. Joey called it beautifully there at the end. Never ceased to amaze you, this Richmond side. They got stars out everywhere. Dusty Martin, enormous tonight. Noah Bolter went back, had a big impact on the game. But just when you think you're going to keep them at bay, you kick a goal, you kick away. 28 points, I think we got it out to. They just kept coming and coming. Giants got the first of the last quarter as well, but Richmond, to their credit, fought it out. Unbelievable, and it's absolute heartbreak for the GWS Giants.
Courtesy of Fox Footy, here's Daniel Rioli with Cam Mooney.
Playing footy, blocks out everything, and yeah, it's a good win. Last week wasn't so good, but to bounce back from last week, it's been good.
To bounce back from 28 points down, I mean, they look like they had your measure, but this is the sign of a great club, and that's what you are. How'd you fight back?
Yeah, they're a quality outfit, Moons. But look, we had to take some risks, and we did that. Especially Dimmer's pep talk at half time and then leading into the last quarter as well. We knew we just had to sort of get our contest stuff right in the middle, and then we'll explode outside and get the job done. So I thought we did that well in the last quarter.
Just last one, what was going through your mind? You kicked that goal, you snapped it. What were you thinking right then?
Yeah, I just needed to get a touch first, Moons. I didn't have a big night offensively, but that's what you get paid to do, just kick some goals. But you know, I got one on the board, and that's all that matters.
Mate, it was a big week for you, mate. You answered well. Well done, brother.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
So Daniel Rioli kicked the winning goal in that last quarter. Just the 11 touches, Heath, for the night for Daniel.
Yeah, 11 touches, but 4 in the final 10 minutes of that game as well.
Triple M Amy review. Amy, who covers Clangers, Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. And, well, there's plenty to chat about in this game. The Tigers were looking at a 4-5, Joey, and it's not the start they've had since 2016, but certainly tonight when they were challenged, they found a way, and that's all about Richmond, isn't it?
Oh, they did. And Daisy put it on the raw. They just overwhelmed him in the last quarter. But let's take a listen to the superstar Dusty Martin, courtesy of Fox Footy.
To bounce back like true champions.
Yeah, it's been an up and down year, but I'm just so proud of the boys. Sorry, can you hear me? I'm just so proud of the boys. We just stuck to what we knew. And, it was awesome. That's footy.
But how does this group, 28 points down, what is it with this group that makes you come back like that?
Oh, we've just got so much belief, and we've got a lot of heart, and we showed that tonight. And it's, as I said, I'm just so proud of the way the boys go about it.
You've got so many injuries through the midfield, but yet you've got this young midfield that stepped up. You know, Baker and Collier Dawkins, these young kids just allowed you to play forward.
Yeah, exactly. A few soldiers go out, we bring them back in, and Bakes is a champion. Jorks gets a good look at it. We've got so many young boys that can go through there, and I'm so proud.
Now, it's bad enough you take out opponents every week. Now you're taking out umpires, mate. How's that?
It was a bit of carry on from the ump, I think.
I would have thought there was a little bit. But no, mate, look, fantastic win, mate. Congratulations, buddy. Go and enjoy it.
Hey, Dad.
A bit of carry on. We're looking at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. The poor goal umpire dislocated his shoulder. Some of the biggest men in AFL can't handle a Dusty Martin shirt front.
Genuine carry on, Joey. I'm with him. It's carry on. You're not getting Brownlow votes now. Call it as it is. It was carry on.
Come on, Dusty. He steamrolled the best going around, let alone a goal umpire. But Dusty was enormous. I mean, when they needed him in that second term, when they were under all sorts of pressure, he stepped up again in the third, and then another goal there late in that last quarter. But as he said, they've just got so much belief in their system, Daisy. And I was just saying, they just overwhelmed them in that last quarter. And it was different names. It was Jack Graham, it was Jake Arts, it was Liam Baker, Collier Dawkins. They all just had their moments, but they just never gave up, and they backed their system in, and once again they found a way.
Yeah, you just love to barrack for them and support them, really, because you know they're never going to give it up. Last week they were slightly embarrassed, although they were trying to get it going. First quarter was okay after that. Very un-Richmond-like, and to see them tonight, they look like they might have been on the ropes a few times, but they just keep coming. And as you say, it doesn't matter who it is. He said there, I think you use one soldier out, one soldier in. Doesn't matter who they do. You get in there, you play your role for the team. You do it to your best of your ability. And some of these blokes who are now playing some really good footy, cementing their spots in different roles, trying to make it as hard as possible for the stars who are out of the side, because come September, we probably think they're going to be there. You never know if there's still injuries. There's a long injury list. It's a long season. These blokes are putting their hands up and fighting for every spot.
Choice Hotels around the grounds, Heath. What's happening in Adelaide?
5 minutes left in the final term. It's the Western Bulldogs by 8 points over Port Adelaide.
Daisy will be voting on the Triple M MVP award for Mongrel Boots. Mongrel Boots, comfy boots built for long days on site. So those will get his votes together. A ripping game of footy here. 13-9-87 Richmond, 12-11-83 were the Giants. 4 points in the end the Tigers' way. And as Joey said, Dusty Martin with the 4 goals for Richmond, 2 to Collier Dawkins. He kicked his first 2 goals of his career tonight. Jake Arts kicked 2 goals. And Jesse Hogan kicked 4 goals for the Giants, all in the second term. and 3 of those come in 3 minutes. Here's the Tigs. Maccas and footy, we are loving it. Joe Montagna, Daisy Thomas, Ethan Meldrum, the great Mickey Roberts. And for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.